All right.
What?
Hey guys, welcome. Welcome to Saturday night. It's a little bit different tonight. Saturday night.
Wait a minute. What was that finger point? What was that about?
Because I figured you were going to be like, "Go, Brian, go, go,
okay.
Dad, go,
Go, Daddy,
Go, Daddy, go.
Daddy."
Because he always says the first like 2 seconds of the podcast.
Yeah.
I'm like,
waiting for the moment.
Yeah, we're just staring into oblivion.
Listen, tonight's going to be a little different. It's going to be a lot of fun. Super jazzed that we have Ari Mannis in the house. Ari is so your profession is comedy. Why is there
Stand-up comedy?
Stand-up comedy, but for a living.
Barely, but yeah. Technically, yes.
Technically, that's so. And that's how I met you. Was about pre-COVID.
Oh, that was crazy.
Kind of how I met you. Really, I'm a giant fan of you. I've watched your YouTube for years.
I appreciate
and
that,
I was in Detroit for a show.
Yep.
Opening for Theo Vaughn.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I said, I have to go to your zoo while I'm here. So I showed up, not even knowing you would be here.
Yeah.
Just needed to see the zoo. And then I saw you and I asked you for a picture as a fanboy.
Awesome.
And then we started talking.
Yeah, and I remember saying like, "Where are you from?" And you said L.A. And I go, "Oh wow, what the hell are you doing out here?" and you go like, "Well, we're playing the Fox Theater or something like that." And I'm like, "What the hell do you mean you're playing the Fox Theater?" Like, that's a pretty major theater in Detroit. I'm like, "What are you like a band? I mean, what are you got going on?" And then of course,
and then I invited you guys, and then that night you guys showed up.
Dude,
it was badass.
You don't understand how crazy that was for me because like first my cousin and I, Brandon is his name. We were huge fans of Theo's podcast, right?
It's great.
Huge fans at the time. Like now, not so much. You know.
I'm
just
great.
fucking
I think he's fantastic.
But and then you tell me like, "Oh, this guy Theo Vaughn." I'm like, "What? Yes, take the tickets. We gotta go. We gotta go."
Yeah, you're like, let me just go ask my family if they'd want to do that. And you came back and you're like, yeah, they all want to do it.
It was awesome.
Yeah, I'll be totally honest with you. Like, I wasn't into the comedy scene as much as I am now. A lot more.
Oh, that's cool.
Like now I know obviously his life is comedy. Trying to walk.
I hope I don't get blamed for that. Your parents probably hate me. Like,
no.
Actually, you do have to take blame though for it. I don't know if you realize.
But as long as it's good blame, because
it's good blame.
A lot of parents would not support their son getting into comedy. They'd be like, I want to do stand-up comedy. And you're like, what's the matter? You didn't get molested when you were a kid. Why are you doing that?
You don't
How
know
do you
that.
know? How do you know?
No, I was just joking. Who didn't?
Uncle
But
Robbie
anyways.
over there.
Uncle Robbie. He was a close.
No, but you did tell him why you got going.
Yeah, you just told me you should try it.
Well, dude, I've watched your vlogs for years. And you're hilarious on it.
Maybe.
And even if not everyone, there's also different kinds of funny.
Yeah,
Some
of
people
course.
are really funny but can't do stand-up. But I always thought you were really funny, so I always thought that kid should try it.
And literally all you said was just like, you should try stand-up. And I was just like, wait, that's an option? I didn't know that was a thing. I literally was such a fan since I was a child, but I didn't know you could try stand-up.
That was the same thing for me. When I started, I was always a fan, but I never equated to doing that as a job. I was like, how do you do that? That's not a job. That's just a thing on TV.
Yeah, that's for them. That's for Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
But
Kevin
Hart.
One day I was in college and this girl broke my heart.
Where were you going to college for first?
UC Santa Cruz for film and digital media.
Oh, okay.
But
okay.
I learned nothing in college. If there's anyone listening that's like, I like film and digital media, just do it. You don't need college to do that. It was worthless.
Nobody is getting out of those things.
Yeah. My parents pressured me a lot into going to college because my dad's a doctor, my mom's a lawyer, Jews.
So they're proud of you. They're proud of you.
I never wanted to go to college, but it was hey, you don't have to go to college, but if you don't go to college, you're on your own.
Oh,
so it was like that.
Yeah.
So I was like,
I should do that.
I was still weaning on mom and dad. So I signed up, but then I got my heart broken by my first true love. You had that happen to you? Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah.
You have?
Dude, yeah.
Just COVID.
Listen,
Pre-COVID.
I'm celibate now. I don't even touch women or men.
Smart.
Only
Smart.
transvestites. I mean, they're not the
That's
same.
very progressive of you.
Different.
Yeah. So I was in this like dark place of my life, right?
Yeah, of course.
But I was always loved comedy, and then I saw this TBS college comedy competition, a poster for it, and I'm like, I need to feel something. So I signed up and did it, and hit the ground running ever since.
That
I
was
loved
it, huh?
That's
crazy.
awesome.
So let me ask you: is Noah more funny with the mustache or less funny?
I think it adds something.
I think it's funny looking,
Nice.
which is good.
Can I tell you what I think about it? I think it's a steroid to the comedy game.
But here's what I'll say.
Okay, I want to hear it.
How many months in the comedy are you now?
I'm just like 1 or 2.
2 months into comedy.
2 months.
Oh yeah, brand new, young buck. I'd say 2 months into comedy, try to look very plain and normal.
Oh.
Start killing plain and normal, right? Like become a beast, just looking not funny at all. Then you add the funny mustache, and now you're a super beast.
This
like
is
Bert
stage,
Kreischer with the
you know
no
what I
shirt.
mean?
Yeah.
Like
Makes
Bert
sense.
Kreischer. Now that's kind of his thing.
Yeah.
But he had to get funny without taking the shirt off.
You know what's kind of fun,
that's
weird though?
interesting.
I don't even really like my face without it anymore. I look back at pictures and I'm just like, I don't like my face.
I don't remember you without it.
Good.
I forgot what you look like without
he
it.
was actually born like that, to be totally honest.
Dude,
with you.
that's what Lewis thought. Lewis
yeah,
thought that.
it's like, yeah. It's,
I
it's
think
Italian.
it's grown into because when you first had it looked kind of prepubescent.
Oh,
like
yeah.
8th grade football
well,
player.
it was.
Yeah.
Actually.
It was.
Now
was
it's
that
like
thing.
you look like a man.
Dude, thanks.
A young man.
I try to.
A young man.
I try.
Yeah. By the way, if anyone
Enough
has
about
any
me.
questions, hit us up in the super chat. I saw Tiffany. By the way, I've got before we even get
Oh, yeah,
started.
what? What do you gotta tell 'em?
Jerica, is she with you?
Yeah, she's right
Okay,
here.
So put the camera on Jerica.
Yeah, yeah.
Jerica
Oh, shit.
Potterhead is in the house. Of course, she's one of our
her
mods.
birthday.
She's from Minnesota. It's her birthday.
Give us
She
some
came
love.
from Minnesota to hang out with us on her birthday. So she is in the
welcome,
house and
Jerica.
modding. So yeah, and if you have any other questions, one of our other mods, Tiff, I know said something.
She gave us
Yep.
cookies to keep
Yeah.
us fat.
Oh,
yeah, she said, can we get a happy birthday for Jerica? Also, I got
No.
told by a sweet birdie to tell Jay, hi, my little boy. I'm guessing that's my mama. And she says, happy birthday, Jerica. So very
That's
nice.
awesome. Well, there you go. I kind of
How do you
preempted that
become
one.
a mod? I want to be a mod.
So
No,
you
no,
can
no.
be a mod right now. We'll kick Jerica and Tiffany off.
Yeah, and then take all on you.
I mean, they're really not that good at it. To be honest with you.
Dude, they ban people all the time.
No, they're great. They're actually
joking.
wonderful people.
What's your guys' mod policy on negativity? Is it one strike you're out? Is it
I
do you
don't
get
know.
a warning?
If you don't say the N word, you're out.
Oh, you have to
Yeah,
say
you
it?
have to.
the
Yeah,
N-word.
yeah,
Smart.
yeah.
Smart.
yeah, keep it. It's like blackmail. It's almost like Jeffrey Epstein's Island. You know
No,
what I'm
absolutely
saying?
not. I don't know what the policy is.
We've never talked about it.
We
so.
kind of let them govern their own society.
They're volunteers, so they get a lot of power.
As
they
far
control
as
the
I
whole fucking
know,
thing.
very few people have been banned. As far as I know,
You have a positive community.
I believe so.
I get
believe
messages
so.
in my DMs. They're like, I can't chat anymore. I'm just like, oh, okay.
See, I get a lot of haters. I think it's
Oh.
that comedy community
Oh,
gets a
okay.
lot of trolls and
Really?
negativity a little bit.
Like not like the reptile hobby at all. Not at all. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He
Like
can relate.
people who say you're mean to animals when you love animals more
Yeah.
than anyone in the world.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no.
yeah.
He said, no, I'm an animal abuser. I just saw
Right.
some stuff on Instagram about
Yeah.
it yesterday. So yeah.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah,
same thing. And, you know, it's so, comedy is so opinionated. So you get people. You could be Dave Chappelle, and
Yeah.
someone's commenting on
Oh,
the video.
yeah.
This
Oh,
guy sucks.
Oh,
Next. And you're like, that guy sucks. He's the best comedian ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And Rogan
so,
talks about it all the time too. You know, he doesn't even read comments.
Smart.
Because he's like I think so I've always taken this well, I shouldn't say always. I get a lot of hate. I really do, you know, and that's okay because I'm pretty
I
visible.
think you get more. From my perspective,
Yeah.
you get tons of love.
Oh,
but
yeah.
the hate. The problem with the hate is that's the ones that sticks. You
It's
can get
sticky, yeah.
9 amazing comments. Brian, we love you. But then you get one comment
Yeah.
that says, Brian, you're mean to animals, and that's the one you go to bed
Yeah.
thinking about.
Yeah, I don't anymore, to be totally honest with you. I used to a lot, but I think that what you have to do, and it's a really tough thing, and I think Joe Rogan says this more harshly than I would say it. Like, I appreciate the positive comments, but I also you have to kind of throw them all out, if you know what I mean.
Right.
Like you can't go like, I'm only going to listen to the good comments and not listen to the bad comments, because then you're really listening to the bad comments. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you kind of almost have to
All
go
or
like, hey,
nothing.
I appreciate your positive comment and I love you for it. But I always say, no one really knows me until they meet me. You know, if
Right.
you're here and you hang out with me and you see how I interact with my animals and my crew and stuff like that, then you have a reason to comment. But someone that just sees me on YouTube, they really don't know who I am.
True.
I mean, I know some YouTubers, and I know you know a lot of celebrities that, you know, off camera, they're different people.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, I'm not going to say, I'm more or less the same guy. A little
From my
bit different.
perspective, so far, you are.
I mean, other than, you know, kicking midgets and,
Yeah, yeah.
and kittens.
Which is important.
I hate kittens.
Little
like
people.
kittens, I like
He has
to
a
really-
shirt that says, I hate kittens.
Yeah, I
little
hate kittens.
You got to let loose somehow.
Yeah.
Kitten
no.
kicking.
No. I love kittens. Don't ever.
Have you seen what's the documentary on Netflix?
On little people?
About
No.
killing the cats.
No, I
know what
have.
guy-
Oh,
what's
I've
it called?
seen. I've
It's
seen it.
insane.
What's
he,
it
he
about?
ends up killing people. But it's this guy
Oh,
who
yeah.
kills
Oh,
cats,
no.
and then he ends up killing people.
Well, that's
and
how it
this
always
Facebook
goes.
group finds him.
The face. Whoa.
There was like a
Facebook
detective
always
Facebook
wins.
group.
Is this a real story?
This
or
is
is it-
real. 100% real. It was in Canada.
Oh my. Well,
This
I
psycho
remember
guy.
the
yeah, the Canadians, they'll do that shit.
He was like
you know?
a closeted
Don't fuck with
gay
cats, right?
model. He was like a closet gay
yeah.
male model. He made 100 fan accounts for himself.
Yeah.
So he was like really insecure about himself.
So he was closeting the modeling, or was he
He was a closeted homosexual.
And he was
he
modeling
had a lot of
straight,
internal struggles. He was male modeling, I think.
Wow.
A non-successful male model.
Okay, so
he would go. He'd spend all day creating Facebook accounts to join his own fan group and create all this discussion talking about how hot he was.
Wait a minute. There was somebody in the reptile community that did the same thing.
Yeah, well, she actually created.
I swear to God,
she created.
Check this out.
Different accounts to argue with herself.
Yeah,
so she would argue with herself and then she would prove that she could win the argument against herself in a different account. And what happened was a mod for this Facebook group outed her and said, hey, listen, I know this is you. So you either come clean or I'm going to release the transcripts. With your IP addresses. So she came clean, but what was interesting is she came clean on Twitter, like this whole I've got mental issues and stuff like that. And listen, I do too. I have mental issues, so God bless you. But
I can attest.
But then she came out with all this stuff on Twitter, and then the next day deleted it all and just went about her way like it never happened.
Wow.
And everyone just kind of let her off the hook, like that was a.
Is she and we don't have to say her name. Is she a Big Reptile Influencer?
No, she's actually more of a YouTuber, right? She doesn't have a lot of animals, and it's not just reptiles either. But I mean, I've talked to her since, and I think she's got her head together, and she seems to be normal now, And I think maybe she was in kind of an abusive situation and just kind of lost her mind a little bit. But nevertheless, that happens. It's like, and have you ever noticed that? At least for me, and like you said, I mean, I get 1,000 comments or so a day. I'll get on a YouTube video. Literally, there's 5 bad comments.
Right.
So it's overwhelmingly positive. And it is funny because Tiffany, the mod that's not here, that super chatted, that she's my pit bull. She'll rip you up. She will attack anyone that says something bad about me. But I always notice that it's an account that doesn't have an icon. It's just like the green dot. And there's no activity on the account.
Or it'll be a picture of like a reptile, not of themselves. They'll be anonymous. It's a weird nickname. They're sad people.
It's crazy that it's funny because obviously Noah, you've only been in this 2 months, but it seems like your community is really nice.
Well, unless it was okay. So can I say this?
Yes,
I can say this that they are. Especially when I got in.
You're talking the stand-up comedy community.
At least in Metro Detroit, okay? So when I got here, the open mic scene, it was nice. Nobody knew who I was. They just knew my name was Noah, right? And I grew the mustache, even secure that. And
secured the mustache.
Yeah, and after about
only one.
a month, I started like getting people on the podcast and stuff, and then they were like, "Oh, this guy's not just random Noah who likes stand up. He's got this fucking zoo and all the fucking bullshit that comes along with it."
I think last night the one guy said the reptile mafia. Yeah,
exactly. So like, now it could just be people are being fake nice, right? Because they're like, "Oh, this guy may have something,"
or it could be a little of both. Who knows? I mean, the way comedy works is you need your hook. It's a lot of. I do this for you, you do this for me, at least in LA. Well,
LA is its own beast. That's everything is like that.
From my perspective, overall, everyone's pretty nice.
I agree.
In comedy, there's definitely shit talking. If I'm on a road trip with comedians in a car, all we do is talk shit about other comedians. That guy's hacky. That guy sucks. That person did this.
And you're talking about like good comedians too. Like we're not talking about open micers.
It's all the way to the top. I have been in the car, not to brag or anything, but with major headliners, theater acts, people who make millions of dollars a year doing comedy, and they're still talking shit about some other comedian.
That's crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
So it never ends. It never ends.
So that's the thing. So obviously, just to set the table here, I mean, like I said, you've toured all over the world. I mean, you've toured a lot with.
I've toured all over the world. My first time touring, I went with Pauly Shore.
Oh my gosh, really?
You guys know him? Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
No.
The Comedy Store, right?
Yeah, his mom and dad started the Comedy Store.
That's crazy.
Now his brothers own it and run it. But yeah, so my first time touring was on the road with Pauly.
Wow. And how is he?
That's got to be wild.
He is normal when you know his upbringing, because Pauly was raised at the Comedy Store since he was a kid, which is a loony bin of a place.
Have you ever played?
All the time, yeah. I was a door guy there for 5 years.
So
I worked minimum wage at the door for 5 years at the Comedy Store. But to give you a background, his babysitters was Sam Kinison.
Oh my god!
Oh my god! That's
nothing could go wrong with
David Letterman, Robin Williams, like all these legends who were also lunatics doing cocaine and binge drinking were the people raising Pauly. So when you take that into account, and the fact that even his own mom, who ran the Comedy Store, was also doing drugs and hooking up with comics and running a nightclub. His dad was touring the country doing stand-up. His dad was a comedian. Wow. When you take all that into account, he's surprisingly normal. That being said, he's a strange guy. He's a strange guy, but he's always been good to me.
Well, you know, it's crazy because I mean, he really was big like in the 80s and early 90s, right?
Pauly, in the 90s was, I'd say, his heyday when he was
he just
a
was
movie
like,
star. He was
he was like doing like huge, like 30,000 people venues and stuff like
big
that.
theaters. He was in Encino Man, Biodome. I have
and that could
most
have
people
been
are too young to even
Biodome.
remember. But
when I was a kid, from my perspective, I didn't even know he did comedy. I just knew movies.
Yeah,
like I would just watch
definitely.
movies. And
he
it
was
was
an MTV VJ.
Yeah.
So many people I discovered. Like the other day, I figured out Ray Romano. He's a stand-up.
Yeah.
I just like knew him from TV and shit. Like, and of course I could have connected the dots. Never did because I'm just.
That's how he got Everyone Loves Raymond. He did a late night set on, I forget which late night, Johnny Carson or David Letterman, one of those. I forget which one. And he killed his set so hard that the production company said, "Hey, we want to do a show around you." That's how he got from doing a 5-minute set on TV. And that's how it used to be in the comedy game. That was everyone's goal as a comedian.
It was get a late night
set, you do 5 minutes, and then someone's going to offer you a TV show.
Especially because wasn't like Carson was like the original, right? Like,
Johnny
I mean, that's
Carson.
what launched most of the guys from the Comedy Store, right?
Johnny Carson. That was the dream. Get on Carson.
Get on Carson, and you got yourself $1 million deal the next day, you know?
Now the dream, get on Joe Rogan. Get
on
Ryan's
Joe Rogan.
podcast.
Here you're not going to get much, you know?
Yeah, you may get one.
And by the way, we will put all the links into our stuff. You also do a great podcast, Unfiltered Therapy.
Unlicensed Therapy.
Unlicensed Therapy, I'm sorry.
And it's not like we don't do it live. Like this is scary going on live like this.
You got to be careful of the bad words,
Yeah, or bad words.
You can swear, but just not
saying something a little
it's
too naughty.
Color.
It's liberating.
Well, listen, we don't mind the naughty side. And I remember you said that when we went to the theater, when we went to go see you and Theo, the first thing you came out to the audience was, by the way, great tickets, unbelievable, like 3 rows back. It was beautiful.
Yeah, I saw you guys from the stage. I could see.
You know who we're sitting next to?
Who?
Daddy Longneck.
He was there.
He was
You know who
right
else
by
was
my
there?
side.
He wasn't near you guys, but Blake Griffin was there that night too.
Get out of here, really? Yeah,
because he was on the Pistons at the time.
At the time,
fuck that
He used to. Yeah,
He's so cool, dude.
Dude, I bet he
really,
is.
guys?
Such a nice, funny guy.
Really?
That night, I feel weird like saying celebrity names. It feels like I'm bragging.
No, you're not.
But
it
doesn't happen to me all the time. But that night, after the show, I got to hang out with you guys, which to me was honestly, I was more excited to meet you guys than anyone else. I mean that. Like,
wow.
I'm around famous people at the Comedy Store all the time. I never ask for pictures. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, right.
But when I saw you, I was like, "Hey, can I get a picture with you?" Because I watch your YouTube.
That means
adorable.
Well, I appreciate you, dude. That's so awesome, man. And it's but yeah, so Griffin was there. That's crazy.
So that night after the show, we went to dinner.
Mm-hmm.
We went it was me, Theo,
Blake
Griffin, Chris D'Elia, and Craig Conan.
What?
At a table.
A line.
And I was just sitting at this table, and obviously the restaurant was hooking us up with whatever we wanted, gave it to us for free. I felt like such a cool dude, even though no one knew who I was, but I was still at this table with rock stars.
It's like, hey, there's the agent for all these guys is sitting with them or something. That's what they thought you were the agent.
Yeah, definitely. They thought I was their assistant.
Exactly. No, that is a table right there. Of course, we ended up getting a quick meet with Chris D'Elia.
That's right.
You hooked us up on that too.
Yeah, we finagled that shit.
Yeah. Well, Ari is the one that hooked it up.
You did?
Yeah, Ari hooked it up.
I got you guys so I'm friends with Chris a little bit, but more his opener, Michael Inochi.
Yeah.
So I was like, "Hey, I got these guys, get them in."
Yeah.
Easy.
He seemed. I felt bad. I'm not going to lie to you because
I did too.
he seemed like I think we might have like
interrupted his fapping.
Yeah,
time.
he was trying to I think hook up with some chicks. Oh, and it's like shit.
And then a year later, no, he was definitely trying to.
So he was kind of like, I got to take you back to see Chris. Fuck, I got these girls over here that are so I felt bad.
Yeah, but you guys get it. I'm sure you were in and out and chill and.
It was super quick. Yeah,
you guys aren't the type that would linger and bother someone.
No, I mean, we literally were there for 3 minutes. I mean, it was like, hey, let's take a picture. Goodbye. See ya.
Felt the vibe.
Yeah, and so it was.
He's a pretty nice dude. You guys are nice. I'm sure it was all great.
And I'm just like you. I mean, I on a different level, obviously, with different things. We've been around celebrities our whole life, you know, and I don't really ever think about like taking a picture with anybody, hardly ever, you know. I mean, every now I want to think like obviously Bob Irwin, Steve Irwin's dad, like he's that way to me. Like I get around him and I'm like, oh my gosh, you know.
Jack Hanna.
Steve Irwin's dad's still alive?
Yeah, he's still alive. Yep, he's probably 70. Last time I saw him, of course, was about 3 years ago. He was 72.
And
so
now
he's
the
about
grandson's kind of filling in that role too.
Yeah, I think he's kind of doing that. Unfortunately, there's a kind of pretty big rift in that family.
Oh, really?
So his
there's all these animal rifts.
Yeah. Oh, you don't know about the rifts.
The Tiger Zoo rifts. There's so much stuff.
Yeah, they're doing on the Australia Zoo. But yeah, no, Terry kicked. So Bob started the zoo, right? With Steve. And Steve always
said.
And
that's in Brisbane?
It's outside of Brisbane. It's about 2.5 hours and called Barraroo.
I was in Brisbane. I wanted to go to that zoo so bad. We ended up going to the smaller one in Brisbane because we didn't have time to make it out there. But
it's about it's about 2.5 3 hours away. It's Barraroo, and you got to go. It's one of the best zoos ever. It's just beautiful. It's an amazing zoo. I've been there a bunch of times, and it's just great to I never met Steve. I know almost all the other animal guys on TV, almost every one of them. But it was a bummer. I just never met Steve. Like as I was coming up. You know, he was, he passed away. So that was like one of my wishes in life was to meet him. And then since I've kind of met all the guys and we've become friends. But
they should have done what they do with the popes with his body.
Like just put it on display?
Yeah, put it on display so we could all meet him.
They would. It's a crime that they didn't do that.
Yeah, you're right.
Cryogenically freeze him, maybe bring him back one day.
I think you could.
Pretty cool.
I think you are getting.
They did that with Ted Williams, the baseball player.
Oh yeah,
his body is cryogenically frozen.
Get out of here! Really? Is that true or is that just made up?
That's what I heard.
I believe it.
I mean, I haven't seen the body.
No.
I haven't seen the body, but that's what I heard.
Ted Williams.
Ted Williams, baseball player, cryogenically.
Can't we just believe something?
No, I want to believe
I'd
it.
like to find out. Because I've been saying this a lot lately.
Okay.
It's part of his act.
Jesus. Let's see.
Is he frozen? I don't see. Let's see. Arizona Beach. No, it's like frozen.
Body sent to Scottsdale, Arizona to be frozen at Alcor.
There you go.
Cryonics facility.
Ari's not only funny, he's full of knowledge.
full of shit. If not something else. No.
Shit and knowledge.
But what the hell are you gonna be? You're frozen. What are we going to create that brings him back to life?
Well, if one day we can maybe take his brain or download his brain into a cyborg type of thing or whatever, I think that's,
okay, but he's not going to be back.
Well, he might, his consciousness might, but we don't know.
Where's the,
I
guess, where's the conscious
We're all too stupid to know what's going to happen.
You're right.
But one day, some genius is going to cure death.
Yes.
And they're going to sew up his body where the thorn went in his heart or whatever happened.
Yeah, Steve. Yeah.
Rest in peace, Steve.
Yeah.
And they're gonna bring him back.
I think they made a movie. I think they made a movie about that. It's called Frankenstein.
Yeah.
So it didn't work out that well, to be honest with you.
It didn't.
Let's hit some super chats real quick. See if anyone's got anything from Ari or anyone else.
Yeah, Lover of Life says, love you guys. Way off topic, sorry. LOL. How do you feel about perlite as an incubator medium?
It's really good. You just need to add a lot of water. If you get hatch right, it's actually perlite with a water isomer in it. Way better than that. So just get hatch right, and you're using perlite, and you don't have to mess around with the water side because it doesn't absorb. Perlite is doesn't absorb water. So
obviously,
of course,
obviously, dog doesn't absorb water.
Yeah, obviously.
Amber says, hey Ari, Brian, and Noah, fellow Jew here. Ari, you're adorable. Happy birthday, Jerica.
Oh, thank
baby.
you. Yeah, by the way, I have a big bag in my living room next to my snake tank with your face all over it.
Oh, that's the Reptile Prime. That was such an ego thing. Listen, I will tell you
is that still a product?
It's still a product that gets sold. But when the company that I partnered up with came out with that bag, I literally was like, "Are you fucking kidding me right now?"
You weren't happy?
No, I was like, "Can we make it like this small? Like, can we make my face like up in the corner or something like that? You know, it's
just
like
you.
It's like me with like, hey, look at me, I'm the coolest guy. So I don't, I use Reptile Prime on all our stuff.
And then people come in, they're like, "What's that?" I'm like, "I know that guy."
The guy
we're real good.
He's like the Betty Crocker of snake bedding.
Yeah, it's pretty cool though. It's like having your own Kellogg's box or something.
I get the stuff from Petco, the wood chips most of the time, and now I mix it with yours, and it gets a cool little look. I don't know if that's good for the snake.
No,
or
sure,
not,
it's perfectly good.
It's got a cool look.
Yeah, it's like the brown mixed with the light.
No, I like it. Yeah, maybe I should make a bag like that. Pre-mix,
Look at
the Ari
Ari.
blend.
Yeah, and then we'll have our faces Reese's on it together.
Yeah, both of us.
Hugging.
Yeah. That's how
That's
Reese's
fucking
Pieces came out or something like that, right? Like the chocolate and the peanut
Yeah, that sounds
butter.
right.
Yeah, so
Fighting for
get this up.
equality on and off the court.
Mac is another one of our mods that is recovering a little bit and starting to become more himself. What
He says, "Happy birthday, Jerica! So glad to be in your life." Yeah, thank you, Mac. We appreciate.
Yeah,
you.
Mac was out for a little bit, so for about a month or so, he was not feeling good.
Bad helicopter crash.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah,
It was
like real
literally-
bad.
Yeah, yeah.
COVID
yeah.
helicopter crash.
Yeah.
that Kobe
Yeah.
style. You know?
No.
Jade says,
She's from the UK, I think.
"Yeah, she. It just says
said
all.
hey.
It says it didn't let me put my name on it, but yeah, she says hi.
Hi.
Thank you.
Hey.
So this is Mama
Jay.
Tomsky.
Mama
This
Tomsky.
is
This is my mommy.
Their mom.
She says, Jerica, girl, happy birthday, and you have the best seat in the house. Much love, Mama."
Next to
There
the
you go.
Stinky Viking.
How many children are watching? Because I noticed
Not
you have
many,
a lot
not
of
many, not many.
we were upstairs right before this.
Yeah.
And every kid as you walked by was like just a rock star to them.
A lot of kids upstairs in the Reptarium. I love it. I absolutely love the fact that when we first opened the Reptarium, it was like pretty much like 18 and older. For the first like 6 months, it was all like reptile people, right?
Right.
And then somehow after about 6 months, it turned into like a family.
Sure.
I think, which is awesome.
Yeah, it's
And
great.
so now literally like 90% of the people that come are families.
Families,
And
right.
it's usually with kids, and we love it. I
Yeah, of
mean,
course.
it's the best thing ever. So, but no, in this particular thing, it'll be adults for
Does
sure.
that
I
ever
thought.
get old when you walk through and people you're just like a celebrity upstairs?
Well,
is that weird? Is that
it's I don't think and you would know because you're a celebrity as well.
I am not at all.
Yeah, well,
but
I think you are, but I mean, when you're standing in front of
I
thousands,
could go
of
out
thousands of
and I have gotten recognized maybe once in my entire life. I imagine you get recognized,
Where was-
especially
At
at
Subway?
the zoo.
yeah,
Dude.
No, the only place
Yeah,
I
in
get
every
recognized is
Subway.
like at a comedy club.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we basically, I mean, my hot spots are. Let's see, what do we got? We got
Subway, Texas Roadhouse, Home Depot.
Home Depot.
Bro,
Yeah.
Texas Roadhouse is a fucking hit.
Yeah, like we can't. Every time I go to Texas
And
Roadhouse,
let me-
I
They're
got-
throwing rolls at
Yeah,
them,
they're
dude.
throwing rolls at me.
Tropical smoothies.
They should
is
pay
my
you to go
place.
Yeah,
there.
tropical smoothie.
That's
It
my
does it too.
place.
Yeah. No,
Is that
so
the local?
Yeah, I
Jamba
just
Juice
walk
over
into
here?
tropical.
Lori
smoothie
gets
place.
noticed
yeah,
at
yeah,
Five Guys sometimes too. I've heard
yeah,
her say
Lori
that
gets
too.
yeah. But,
Yeah.
but no,
She gets
listen,
6 patties though. It's
as
for a
you-
different reason.
Like,
Yeah,
are there days where you're just like, I can't go out there. I can't go out there.
No,
today.
not at all. Never. I'm listen. I'm nowhere near a lot of the guys that you hang out with. But I'll never take that for granted. I mean, that's an amazing thing. It's an amazing thing that you touch people in any way. I mean, not actually touch them.
No,
but,
touch
you know
them.
what I mean?
Yeah, it's so amazing.
That's the
So
problem
bad.
with live, right?
Yeah,
Are you
no.
guys at all concerned? Do you think being on the suburbs of Detroit? I don't know if everyone, the address.
All
is
right,
Googleable.
say the racist
Yeah.
thing, Ari. I
Are you
know
guys
it's coming.
concerned? Do you think you can get canceled out here, or do you think being out here you can't get canceled? Because you guys are
Well,
public figures, you're in the podcast game, you're in the reptile world, you get into comedy. Is that a fear? Like as a new comedian,
I don't
do
have
you
a
have
fear.
I
No.
might say something and not be allowed on stage. again.
Absolutely not. No, I don't.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you want me to describe
go
my
ahead.
feeling
Yeah,
on it?
check it out.
I don't, because I don't think anything I can say can really do any damage. Like, I mean, because I'm not going to say anything that's going to do anything serious.
Well, unless you some racial thing or something like that, but you're good about that.
I mean, am I? I don't know. I don't know. But the thing is, I guess, my heart, I know where my heart is, and I know that okay, let me back up. This is a very touchy topic, so I want to make sure I say the right thing. You know what I mean? I feel like physical actions actually get you canceled furthermore than verbal.
Unless it's real bad racial, then that can happen.
Like Tony Hinchcliffe is probably the most recent guy to get canceled.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
is he never coming back? Because
Well-
I watched it, and
I think he's coming back, but he definitely took a hit from that. I
Yeah.
think that his agent dropped him. Stopped doing Kill Tony for a few weeks.
yeah, I mean, I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
Since
Chris
I have
D'Elia was
nothing.
down
Same
for
thing
a
with
while.
D'Elia. Like he's
yeah.
doing his podcast again. I'm sure he'll be back on the road, but he got cut out of a Netflix movie and will probably never be put in.
And all of his sponsors for his podcast dropped them. All
Well,
that
yeah.
stuff.
our YouTube friend David Dobrik. I don't know if you know David.
Yeah, same thing.
I mean, he got
David.
he got crushed.
Yeah.
I mean, it's bad.
Those-
So
bad,
those
and we know those guys, and we know that they're not. Or at least I could say personally, I know that Chris is not a bad guy, and I know Tony is not a bad guy. They may
Yeah.
have done some things they shouldn't have, but no, they're human. They made some
Yeah.
mistakes. So.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you guys live in fear at all, or is it you're just like I can't
No, I think
live
that
like
you.
that?
Maybe
I think
you.
No,
Not
I
me.
don't because I you get to a point where you have to. and Jay sees this all the time with me. Like, if I'm
Jay's for sure getting canceled.
Yeah,
I'm already canceled. That's why they don't. That's why you can't see me right now.
Yeah, I won't even turn the camera off. Don't look at me. No more on you.
No more mic anymore.
You've had enough time. But no, I mean, I guess I've been in the game so long now. You know what I mean? Like, since 2008, I've YouTubed and just kind of social on all things that, like, even if I start to mentally go down a road that I'm not supposed to go down, I'll stop myself knowing that sometimes you'll even say something that isn't at all bad,
right?
But you think, oh, wait a second, someone might mistake this for a different, and I changed, so I think we're pretty good about not doing things, and but that doesn't mean, listen, I mean, for the last 3 or 4 years, there's, groups of people in the reptile hobby that want to cancel me. Like all the time. And it's like I always say, if you think I'm the worst thing that happened to reptiles, you got a problem. You know what I mean? Like, you got a problem. But there are people that really do. Yeah. I mean, they take, I think that for whatever reason, I don't understand it. Like you said, whether it's Chris or any of these guys, I mean, if you do something really wrong, like you're a pedophile or something like that, or racist, that's a totally different thing. But when you just accidentally do something or make a mistake that a normal person would make in a normal person's life, it wouldn't cost them anything. But for you, they want to take everything away from you. I mean, even like David Dobrik is a pretty good example. I mean, don't get me wrong. What happened with the girl potentially being sexually abused by Dirty Dom, his friend, it's horrible.
Yeah, no one's endorsing that.
No, it's horrible. But David didn't do it. And when David was filming kind of the funny piece about it, he didn't know that was happening.
Yeah.
He thought there was a consensual sex thing going on. But in the meantime, they literally cost him probably $100 million because he had a deal with a big tech company called Dispo. They just launched, and these companies put literally close to $100 million into this company, and they or maybe they didn't put that much in, but it was tens of millions of dollars. And I know that people that I know that were in that situation thought that David may walk away with $100 million within the next couple years on the growth, because they were going to go public eventually and all that stuff, and they kicked him out. Yeah. They kicked him out. Gone. All of his sponsors canceled him. Every single one. YouTube demonetized him.
That's right.
So this, it literally probably cost him. I bet you it cost him $100 million in his career. Now I pray he will be back.
He has to be on some capacity.
Yeah, but it's a little bit tough for him because it's a sexual thing.
Yeah.
But Logan Paul did a great job of coming back.
That's my point. I think there's nothing heavier than a sexual cancellation.
Yeah, that's the hard part.
I think, dude, that's going to be tough to come back from.
Yeah.
Now verbal, I think.
But you're a little sexy man. That could definitely
happen.
Look at mustache.
I'm very sexy.
Well, now you're celibate. You say.
I'm celibate. I control my sex, so I have nothing
with his
to
right
worry
hand.
about. With my right.
Pamela Henderson.
That's a great point.
You guys have a very close father-son relationship.
But he doesn't use my hand.
I use.
We're not that close.
No, I use
We're
his
not
left.
that close.
I use his left. He's got a firm grip. Nice and soft.
Where's Lori, by the way?
She's under the table.
That's a great question, to be totally honest with you.
Want to say hi to her too.
She was supposed to be going to Grand Rapids today.
Okay.
But I don't know if she went or not because unfortunately my German Shepherd hurt his paw about 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, did you hear the news?
Yeah,
it's no bueno, my friend.
Yeah. So he ripped or tore out some.
Are they gonna have to amputate it?
No, thankfully, no, not that. But he messed up his ligaments, so there was like one of two options. One was to surgery to fuse the bone, or the other was to put him down.
And we chose the latter.
No. The other one was to do like a brace type of thing that he'll have to wear for the next 6 months. Gotcha. May or may not help. But so they just
you gotta see the cast he's in. I mean, he's in a full straight body. Like his arm is.
So he can't even bend?
No, he can't bend at all. It's got
wobbling around.
The sticks on it. Come on, help me out here.
Splint, like a
splint. Thank you. And so he's in a splint, and he's all fucked up.
Yeah, that's so. I talked to Lori just before you came, and she was supposed to be heading to Grand Rapids. That's where like my daughter and her brother and sister are hanging out for the weekend, and then I was going to go here, for Monday or something like that. But she said she may not go because our dog is not doing very well with the splint. She was going to take him with, she was going to go with, but she's like, I don't know if he could go. You know what I mean?
Well, I really made the podcast sad here.
Dude, you're bringing up great topics. Cancellations, dead dogs.
Why don't we talk about my husky that we put down a few years ago?
Have you put down any dogs? Have you ever put down a dog?
I actually I make a Craigslist ad. I refresh it every week that I put down people's dogs, $50.
Oh, that's awesome, dude.
Yeah, I see. You're a humanitarian on Craigslist.
Listen, I know a lot of people don't like to do that. They love the dog. I don't love other people's dogs. They only love my dog, so I'll put it down.
You do it naturally, like by blade. You'd use blade, right?
Oh man. Oh my god.
No, this is true. This is this is an animal loving community, so this is gonna sound horrible.
Do it.
So I made a fake ad on Craigslist, and I said, I'm trying to put down my cat. The vet wanted to charge $400. Is there anyone here that will do it for cheaper? Please send me a picture of yourself, how much you would do it for, and how you would do it.
Yeah.
And I was getting these crazy photos of like these dudes who he literally just sent me a picture of themselves, and they're like, I'll do it this way. I'll do it with pills. I'll do it with strangulation. Like all these ways. And I posted just the ad, and then all the responses I was getting on my Facebook, just dark, twisted shit.
That's awesome.
But full disclosure, I don't have a cat, so anyone getting mad right now, this was a fictional scenario.
Yeah.
But I had people who I went to high school with who blocked me on Facebook. They're like, "How could you treat cats this way?" They're just getting mad over this fictional thing.
I love that.
That's good shit.
It is good stuff though. That's we got to do something like that.
We gotta. What's that guy that catches the predators? Like we gotta do something with the cat though. With the you actually hone those guys in. Come on, come kill my cat.
Yeah, you bring him in. You go. So, what were you here to do again?
Yeah.
It could be a Netflix special on that.
Yeah,
the follow up.
Fuck with cats.
Maybe get like
the Pussy King.
The Pussy King.
Oh, nice. He's in the bush.
The Pussy Killer.
And I think there's only one man to host that show.
Brian
Noah.
Tarja.
The mustache.
No,
this is the Pussy King right here.
So Ari, I was literally gonna make. I was down in Florida. This was like maybe 8 years ago. I was with some Australian friends down in Florida, and there was these feral cats everywhere, man. I mean, like literally, like everywhere we went, there was feral cats, right? And so we were going to make a web show. We never did. I really wish we would have done. You should do this, actually. It was going to be called Adventures.
You will fund it.
I will fund
do
it with as long as it's under $100. So it was going to be called Adventures of the Pussy Hunter. And it was about hunting feral cats. You know?
Right.
And I think
when you say hunting, are you killing these feral cats? Are you
we're
capturing them and
not at all.
rescuing them?
It's more like what it is the pussy hunter is really not really going after feral cats. No. What it is, he's helping like damsels in distress that their pussy needs a little attention. You know what I mean? And so he's like coming in and let's say, I called the pussy hunter. The last time I saw the cat was in the bush. The filthy pussy was out there in the bush, and you know what I'm saying? That I think it'd be a good. What do you think?
Help! My pussy's dry and needs a little lotion.
I don't know what it is, but there's a lot of
one man for this.
I could definitely lotion some pussy lips.
And now, to be honest with you, when I came up with this idea, Noah was like 16, 15 or something like that.
I thought you were gonna say you were 15, 16.
No. This is a full-grown adult. I was a full-grown adult when I came with that idea. A grown man.
How old are you now?
37.
That's what I thought.
37, 21. No, I'm 21. But honestly, in Hawaii, it's a great place for Pussy Hunter 2.0, though.
Yeah,
Have you ever been to Hawaii?
I luckily have. I've been to Oahu, I've been to Maui and Kauai.
You notice all the stray cats?
There's
all that feral pussy? Feral pussy, wild cock.
There's a lot of cocks in there, too.
Yeah,
the cocks are fun. You're just clucking around the cat.
Free cocks.
Just clucking around, getting all hard.
I don't know.
Or what do we got, Jay?
Simple Man says, hey, hope you're having a great night. Happy birthday to Jerica.
Happy birthday. Jerica's getting some love.
And Clistia, she says, hello, Brian, Noah, Jay, and Ari. Hope all is well. I am really hoping I will be next weekend, but my son is sick. I'm going to try to get him better. Much love and happy birthday, Jay.
I'd say give him a lot of water, orange juice, and kisses. That's how my boo-boos got better is I would have my mommy just kiss me on boo-boos and I'd be better.
Yeah.
Facts.
Noah still does that.
Yeah. It's true. I like bone marrow as well.
Yeah, bone marrow is really good.
Add some bone marrow into the OJ and the orange juice. It'll be good to go for next week. We'll
your son should be fine.
Timothy says, just ordered another Melanota female last night. So excited to get her. Ari, where's your favorite place to do stand-up?
Oh, yeah. Good stuff.
Oh,
That's a good question.
That is a good question.
I'd say locally, I live in LA, is the Comedy Store and the Ice House in Pasadena. And then globally, Australia was one of the best tours I've ever done.
Really? Where'd you go in Australia? I know you said Brisbane.
So we did Sydney, Melbourne, Perth, Brisbane, Adelaide. We went all over and just, they get it, man. They have a good sense of humor. They don't get offended. The country is cleaner than America. There's less homeless people. They have a higher standard of living. I love America. Australia is a better country. They do it right. I
love
it.
It's
America 2.0.
Yeah, I love Australia.
And not to mention all the reptiles and cool animals.
Yeah. Did you get to Alice Springs or did you not go? It's a pretty small place, so I didn't know if you.
Alice Springs is
right in the
smaller.
middle. Yeah, right in the middle of the country.
No, we didn't.
Yeah, it's a bar. I didn't think you would because although it is like the center and big, it's a pretty small place, but it's probably my favorite place in Australia.
And what is it what about it was?
Well, I think that, as you know, going to Australia, the one thing that those places you just mentioned don't have is red dirt, right?
Yes.
You know, they're really subtropical rainforest everywhere you just mentioned. You know, the whole coastline is subtropical rainforest. Adelaide.
Yeah, it feels like California.
Yeah, but when you get into the red center, as they call it, which is Alice Springs and Uluru and so on like that, where Ayers Rock is and stuff, that's Crocodile Dundee.
That's where all the lizards are.
Yeah, it's just the desert. It's beautiful. Tons of snakes, tons of really cool rock escarpments, and but it's even though Alice Springs is a pretty like the biggest town in the middle, it's still probably not big enough to have a comedy thing,
or a small one.
Yeah,
maybe
a small one.
Yeah, small. I know that there's the local comedians in Australia. They go out to these mining communities and towns like that, and they do shows. But I was with Theo. And he needs that paper to go.
He needs that Theo, yes. Yeah. Dude, so I know Theo moved away.
He has his house in Nashville, but he still has an apartment in LA, so he's kind of back and forth.
So are you still working with him on stuff?
Here and there, yeah. We work together a little bit. All of comedy has been basically either shut down or slowed down during the pandemic, but it's starting to pick back up, and we'll see.
Yeah, I know a lot of the guys were taking shit for going out and doing shows.
Yeah, it's like you said, it was like most of it's positive, but yeah, there's a few liberal pussies that just get mad. I'm not allowed to say
I
that.
saw you were. Yeah. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. It's true. But you were. I saw you did some like little tiny things during the pandemic, like a room, like almost like underground comedy shows or something like that.
So I used to do this show. I'm used to these tiny shows, so I used to do this show called Ari's Apartment Comedy Show, and I would do once a month, and I basically turned my living room, and I live in a 2-bedroom apartment, it's not a big place. I turned my living room into a comedy room. So I built a little stage, a spotlight, I cram about 20 fold-up chairs in there, and I would put on the Craigslist free stuff section. Free comedy show.
Get out
and
of
I'd put free beer and comedy. So most people came just for the beer. They didn't come for the comedy.
I remember you had like 30 empanadas one day.
Yeah.
And nobody ate them.
Yeah.
I was just like, fuck, I wish I had those.
Dude, yeah. So I'd try and get people in there with free beer, free empanadas, free peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, just enticing people to come. And usually it packs out. And it's fun. Occasionally, you get some homeless people coming in for the snacks, and then they leave. But I just pack out my living room with Craigslist strangers and put on a comedy show.
Have you read the book Guerrilla Marketing?
No,
because that is the antithesis of guerrilla marketing. I'm going to do a comedy store in my living room. That's the way to grow, man. I love it. That's beautiful.
So in the beginning of the pandemic, and I'm sure I'll get canceled for this, but I threw some like anti-mask living room shows in my living room.
Oh my gosh, that's scary.
Oh, dude.
Did you have COVID?
I'm a bad boy. I don't know. I got sick a couple times.
I remember you got tested. Yeah. Oh, I thought
I didn't get tested during my sick.
Right? You did an antibody.
Yeah, I did an antibody test, and I was negative. But it's just, I don't know. It's blown. I don't want to get into it. Maybe we probably shouldn't get into it. But it's so overblown. I just don't care anymore.
Well, I caught it.
I'm done wearing masks.
I had
Was it bad?
No.
There you go.
No, it was.
And most people, it's not. You're a healthy man.
Yeah,
you're a strapping young man.
Strapping young. Yeah, I don't know about that. But
I'm just sick of it all. I want life to be back to normal. I want to walk around the zoo with no mask.
You can.
Oh yeah.
Guess what? You can. Right. There you go. I own the place. I can. Michigan is lightening up now. So California's still a little bit tight. Michigan. As a matter of fact, we were at Home Depot today. Hardly anyone had masks on. Most stores hardly anyone had masks on.
At the pizza store, no mask.
Yeah, I mean it was bad. I mean a month ago it was probably just as bad as California.
Yeah, pretty
But
close.
you know what really happened, to be totally honest with you, that turned the tide, is that our governor, who's about as strict. I mean, she has her own character on Saturday Night Live, so she has to be strict. She had our opponent about like come out and say, hey, I'm going to run for governor. That's serious, like it's a sheriff from Detroit that everyone loves. All of a sudden, she changed her whole oh, guess what? We're going to start taking off masks. We're going to start doing this. We're going to start opening up. And prior to that, she was a witch, man. I mean, a witch, And if she's watching, fuck you, Gretchen.
Half Whitmer.
Yeah, Whitmer.
What are your thoughts? Do you follow local politics?
No, man.
Michigan
I'm more into like ethics.
What are your jokes about?
My jokes, honestly.
Did you watch him do stand up?
Yesterday was go ahead.
Let me preface it with I didn't do it like a real full set yesterday.
You were hosting.
Yeah,
I was
hosting. A little
hosting.
different. Yeah.
So like I would do like maybe a bit in between,
right?
Just like Josh and the people before and after.
So Noah.
I don't know how I did.
So
I was comfortable though.
You did good. You did great. I thought you did. I mean, that was the first time I saw him on stage.
And now I should ask you a follow-up question.
Sure.
A lot of open mics, as you know, are terrible. It's just 5 comics on their phones watching. They're not fun. You can't really do good no matter how funny you are. Was yesterday's open mic, was it fun? Was there an audience? Like, was there room?
No.
Well, there were
your dad was the audience.
Yeah. There were 6 people that weren't comics.
Okay.
5,
and the bartender.
There were 7 people that weren't comics.
Okay.
You, Mom, and then the 5 other people.
Got it.
The rest were just, that's a fucking turnout for what I do.
Right. Well, so listen, it's like what I've said is that there were some comics, most of them are not good,
Sure.
really, honestly.
Yeah, probably 90%
but
of
them. There were some comics that got crickets that said a couple things that I laughed, and I was like, if they were in a room of people that cared, they would get laughs.
Totally.
But they got, like nothing.
Yeah.
And that's
welcome to open mics.
Yeah. It was, but Noah did good. And what Noah told me in the very beginning, because he did his first show a couple months ago, and he said exactly what you told me. I don't know if you remember. You say, this isn't really a family thing. That's what he said, because I said, I'd like to come out and see. And he goes, this isn't really a family thing. It's kind of a one-person thing.
I agree.
It's not.
My parents always ask me to come to my shows, and I've let them come once to get out of the way.
Wow.
And now they always want to go, and I just go, I'm so much more comfortable when there's no one I know there.
Oh, okay.
I just feel, I don't know how you feel about it. I think you're closer with your parents than I am with mine.
Yeah.
But I just feel more comfortable going up there when I don't know anyone in the crowd. And not even just my parents. If there's like a friend from high school, again, I'll let them go once. But I much rather do it when I don't know anyone. That way I don't care if I do good or bomb. I'm just looser.
Right.
I don't, because if my parents are there, I feel this pressure like I got to do good and show them that I'm not a loser.
Yeah.
So from the start of your career, it was open mics?
Yeah.
Okay. When did you finally get good enough to do, like, what was how many years?
I still am probably not good enough.
I thought you were hilarious.
Thank you.
In everything I've seen.
No, my big break, or my small break, I should say. I haven't had a big break, but my break out of open mics was I was interning at this website that does all the websites for a lot of the comedy clubs in the country. It was called Laugh Stop. They're not. I don't even think they're around at the time. But at the time, they did the website for the Comedy Store, the Ice House, the Improv, all the major clubs in LA. And I was an intern there. And the hottest show in LA was called Comedy Juice. And this was every week was Aziz Ansari, Daniel Tosh, Chappelle, Dane Cook. It was all these Louis C.K. Anyone who was in town that week drops in on Comedy Juice. And then anyone who's not on the show, who's a comedian, went and hung out at Comedy Juice. Right, so every Wednesday I would show up and just loiter around. Yeah. It was just the spot to be.
Sure.
So I was hanging out there. The guy who runs Comedy Juice would go to the Laugh Stub building to collect his paycheck for Comedy Juice. And so he sees me, and then he saw me at a show, and he goes, you're a comic? And I'm like, yeah, I am. And he goes, you work at Laugh Stub, right? And I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm an intern there. He goes, you're a comic? I said, yes. He goes, hey, do you want to host the show next week? And I'm, at this point, 6 months into comedy.
Wow.
Never done had just done open mics. I'm a piece of shit, whatever. I'm not good. I do not belong on Comedy Juice. But of course, I'm young and hungry and overconfident. And I'm like, yeah, I'd love to host. And so then that week I just did double down on open mics, getting my set as polished as it could be. I go up there, I host Comedy Juice. I'm nervous, out of my mind nervous, because it was like me, who was else on the lineup? I think it was Daniel Tosh was on that week, Dane Cook. It was like I did not belong there. I was hosting the show with heroes.
Yeah,
right?
What are you
like
doing?
Legends. And I'm 6 months into comedy, like trying to memorize my jokes, you know.
Right.
But I went up there and I did good. I pulled it off.
Really?
Like I did not bomb. I mean, if I'd probably cringe if I watched myself now, but the audience laughed and I did good. And the guy running the show was like, "Awesome, come back. We'll have you back doing this every 2 weeks."
Oh,
and
my
then I was
gosh.
kind of like in their rotation, and I'm doing Comedy Juice all the time.
Wow.
And performing at all these different clubs.
Huge.
And then I became a host at all the clubs and just been working my way up. But I'm still, not where I want to be. I still want to be a headliner and get passed at the Comedy Store and all these different things.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's it. So how long have you been doing it?
I'm doing it 9 years.
9 years.
Yeah.
Jeez,
Closer to 9
and
or
that's
10
the thing. They usually say it takes about 10 years, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it's different for everyone. That's the weird thing. I mean, I would imagine similar to the reptile business. Probably there's no school on how to make it in the reptile business.
No.
There's no school on how to make it in stand-up comedy. You can't go, oh, I'm going to get a degree and then I'm going to get a job for Petco and do this. That's not how it works. You just kind of got to make your own path.
Yep.
So it's the same thing for comedy where some people will make it in 3 years and you're like, oh man, everyone loves them. And then some people will make it in 20 years. Like Joey Diaz,
that's
got
true.
famous later in life. Bill Burr got famous. Louis C.K. There's all these examples of people who made it later. And then there's people who get on TV and are famous. Pauly Shore, I think, got famous after just a few years of doing it.
Right.
He had all the connections.
Well, he had so many connections. Yeah, that's the thing.
So it's different for everybody.
Yeah. So do you think that when you got going with Comedy Juice, did you know a lot of people at the time, or
No.
So you were fresh.
I was fresh, and by the way, when you host Comedy Juice, you get paid $20. That wasn't. I didn't financially was not making it, but that was just how I got started doing shows and not open mics.
Yeah.
But I was fresh, and
because that's what I always think, like, with reptiles and I'm not going to say reptiles really, because reptiles is about cleaning snake shit and working hard at, but I think more like the social media side, YouTube and stuff like that. A lot of times it is who you know what I mean? Like as I became friends with the big names on social media, it opened up doors for me on the social media side more so. And I just wonder if, in the comedy world, it's got to help, right?
Definitely. So most of my following is people who saw me open up for Theo Von. Not that I have a following, but the little following that I have is mostly like a subsidiary of Theo Von's. And I would say most of his following is a subsidiary of Joe Rogan.
Right.
So it just kind of, that's how it happens. I mean, on Instagram,
those are still
the only way to get followers. Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're still people.
Oh,
they're still fans. They definitely liked you.
Oh, totally. No, I'm not complaining. I don't them.
No,
I love all
I
the people.
understand.
But from my perspective, it's very for example, let's say Instagram. You don't get a whole lot of natural organic following on Instagram. It's mainly you get tagged by Brian, or you get tagged by Theo, or you get tagged by someone, and then people discover you that way.
Yeah.
No, TikTok is more organic.
Yeah, no, TikTok's even though that's becoming harder, like all social media when it starts is organic.
Right.
And then they start algorithmically,
fucking
phasing
people out.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I just did some work with a pretty big guy on Instagram that has about 20 million, and he said that even him, he goes, yeah, I'll gain 6,000 from a big post. He goes, and then 2 days I'll lose 5,000.
Right.
He goes, literally, I'll go up 6 and come down 5. And I know we earlier this year we're really working hard on Instagram. We still are, but we've continued to change our strategy. And for the first 6 months, we crushed. I mean, after last year, Instagram was garbage for us. And then the first 6 months, we almost put up 100,000 followers in the first, well, actually 4 months.
Yeah.
And then now it's dead. I mean, dead. I'm literally gaining 5 followers a day. Wow. I mean, it's dead. And I had days, Jay knew. Oh my God. Sometimes there was days I had 5,000 followers in a day. Crazy. And now it's 5.
And it's just the algorithm changing, or?
We didn't change our strategy at all.
Instagram's this weird thing to me. I could be wrong. This is my partial theory on it. It's kind of become a business card, and not even just for comedians or influencers, even for a normal person, like a chick you meet on the street. She's like, follow me on Instagram, look at my Instagram. They're trying to get, everyone wants their ratio to be cool. Yeah. So it's you don't want to follow more people that are following you. So even normal people will unfollow me or you because it's do I need to follow that? I'd rather my number be low than follow Ari.
You're right.
I have something to throw in though. Because you live in LA or California.
True. So maybe it's more rampant of an issue
It
there
is there.
than here.
It is there, dude. I mean, because I visit like once a year, twice a year, whatnot. Man, it's weird. I don't feel like I'm even accepted as a human in society there. But here, you know, nobody, if you're just meeting people in public, honestly, nobody really asks for Instagram.
Right.
And when I'm in LA, usually one of the first 5 questions is like,
what's your Instagram?
Yeah.
Yeah, instead of asking people for their phone numbers, straight up, like if I meet a girl in LA, it's more
100%.
normal to say, "Oh, I'll follow you on Instagram," and then DM her there if you know.
Yeah, see, it doesn't
like
work
that.
for me because I'll never answer a DM.
Yeah.
I always, as a matter of fact, I always say when people ask me questions on this podcast, I'll go, DM Jay because I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to.
Well, you probably at some point it becomes too much.
There's
And
just too much. It's
you
impossible.
have a million followers on
It's
Instagram, something
just
like
600,
that. 600,000. So at 600,000,
Just 6.
No, it's not. No, it's not. I wish it was a million. I wish it was a million.
What a loser!
We all
just
do
leave
it.
the podcast
But
now.
see,
Ari.
we all do it. You bitch about your 20K. I bitch about my 30. He bitch about his 600.
Right.
We all bitch about it.
But I
honestly.
imagine at 600, you just can't respond.
No, you
to
can't
those DMs.
respond.
It's too much.
Every now and then I'll like look through, and this just happened to me a couple days ago. I was looking through my DMs, which I hardly ever. I mean, like maybe once every couple weeks, because just every day there's 150 DMs or whatever, 200 DMs, and someone was like out in LA. It was Florida. They had a fish farm, and I've been talking about the aquarium upstairs and stuff like that. And they're like, "Hey, we'd like to donate a bunch of corals and stuff like that."
So cool.
And I was like, "Thank God, I freaking And then I started thinking like, I'm thinking like, what am I missing by not looking at
Maybe
it?
you need to get an assistant to look through your DMs for you,
Yeah,
or
probably.
one of the
Yeah.
staff members.
Yeah.
Do you
No, you're
filter
right.
through top requests?
Mine doesn't
that?
work.
What's top
It
request?
doesn't.
Oh my
See,
god!
I just look
you're
at
about to
every
know.
DM I get. So
Oh
I don't
my
need,
God,
So I
no,
don't
No,
know
well,
this.
listen,
Dude, there's a filter
listen.
button.
No. Let me show you
No.
right now.
Well, let me describe to him
You
how
describe.
it really
You describe.
works.
You describe.
There's this button on the DMs. You can filter all requests, so you can see every single person.
Can
and
you
then,
filter it by hot chicks?
Yes, because that's the follower
Yeah.
count.
Yeah,
But-
that's the top.
I have a
They have a better
girlfriend
follow
now,
count.
but
Yeah,
this
well,
is my single
we
brain
shouldn't
talk.
have to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can go under a different alias. No, but top requests, and then it'll be like, it'll filter it.
Yeah,
from
right. But you
most
know, my
followers to
top
least
request, when it
Stop.
updated,
What is it?
117 weeks ago is my last top request. That's
But
how
it's
messed
in order
up.
of the highest.
I mean,
No, right. I
following
understand
count,
that.
right?
Oh, I
But
didn't
this
think I have
doesn't,
that.
it never ever updates, ever. Like
Well,
I'll have
maybe
like the
just-
same 10 people on my top request.
well, maybe that's
You've
because
responded
they're
to my
super
DMs.
top.
See that?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but that's because we're friends.
Yeah.
If I follow you, I respond to your
Got it,
DM.
got it.
But
That's true.
because that goes into
Oh.
my primary DMs.
Listen,
Right,
I
right.
got something funny to say.
Oh gosh, let's
Theo
wait a
Von-
second. Hey, everyone stop. Everyone stop.
No, listen,
Put the pressure
dude.
on.
Theo Von, he followed me right after the
Hell
show.
yeah. Uh-huh.
He unfollowed me.
Oh,
Did he?
my
No, he
God.
did?
See, that's
You
what
never
I'm
told me
talking
that
about.
shit.
The count.
Oh,
The
Man.
follower count.
He unfollowed me.
Damn.
I gotta see if
Man,
Theo's
you don't
unfollowing
understand
me,
how.
man.
That hit you deep.
Oh yeah, dude.
Dude,
Theo
you probably
Von.
unfollowed me too.
Like I would.
He probably did. I'm gonna. Now I have to check if he follows
He
me.
fucking still follows you because I checked.
Oh no, you did it. You're like, oh well, he
I
must have
checked.
unfollowed my
I'm
dad
gonna
too.
send him a picture of you and say, "What's up, dude?"
He
What's with
follows
the
me. I'm good. Ironically enough, the second guy on his list that is right now I see him. The guy I just did the collab with, and you. Those are the first three. And actually,
take
he
it.
follows Oscar, the
Grouch.
Oscar Valdez, who is the WBC super featherweight.
He's
who's-
super into fighting.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
and this guy Oscar followed me like 2 years ago. He's into reptiles.
Oh, that's sick.
And so, like,
yeah.
at the time, he wasn't the super heavyweight or super featherweight
Yeah.
champion. He just got that about 3 months ago. He won.
We
the
should get
championship.
Oscar to beat Theo up because of that.
Absolutely.
No, I don't actually care. I just thought it was funny. It was just like
Yeah?
he fucking
No,
cock
we should-
teased me, man. He
Yeah,
put the
he
tip
teased
in
you.
and then took it out. Like, come on, you gotta leave it in.
He probably.
It's probably the hair.
You
You
know
think
what
he
it
forgot
was.
who you were? Do you think he was looking through and go, "Who's this guy?" And
Oh,
unfollow?
for
What
I
do you
think
it
I
was?
I probably posted something and he was just like, I don't want to see this. Unfollow. That's 100%
See,
what
but
it is.
see,
I'm not
for me,
offended.
when someone
what
because
happened.
that happens to me too. So I'll see something in my feed, like someone will post something really political, and I'm like, I don't want to see this. I'll
Yeah.
mute them though.
Right, or
That's
unfollow.
smart.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
smart.
That's smart. Got some other
He's just
supers. I know
savage.
we have a bunch of them.
Yeah, we got a
all
bunch.
good.
Who's
though.
been the craziest person that's followed you who's into reptiles? Who you're like, I never would have thought that person would be into reptiles. So you got like that fighter.
That fighter's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
The fighter's pretty interesting. I'm trying to think.
Because I've heard, isn't there like the lead singer of Tool, or isn't there some bandmate that has like a snake breeding company or something?
Oh, yeah, I know who it is.
Yeah.
Slash.
Slash.
I think Slash.
Like Slash follows me. We DM back and Slash is good. Slash is interesting because Jay knows this.
That is
like
crazy.
I'll send Slash a
Flash.
DM. Flash.
I'll send the Flash.
I'll send the Flash, but I'll send a Slash a DM and he'll get back to me usually within like a half hour.
Oh my God,
really cool.
Has he ever called you for reptile advice?
No, because he doesn't keep many reptiles now. He used to have a pretty big collection of reptiles, but now he's like kind of
downscaled.
Yeah, he downscaled.
He has a phase of his life.
No, I think he's still into it. He just keeps like a few reptiles now. For a while, he actually had a breeding company and stuff like that.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
maybe,
but Carrie from Slayer actually does have.
He still does.
He has a company.
You know, it's so funny.
What's that?
This whole podcast has just been name dropping.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't want to name drop. This is the name drop podcast.
Like, oh well, I know this
the guy from LA comes in here and turns into the name dropping podcast.
That's all it is.
Okay.
No, but Carrie has a company called Psychotic Exotics. Do you want me to FaceTime
we
Carrie
believe
right now?
you. We believe
should
you.
call Carrie right
question.
now.
So I'm really, as you know, like into podcasting and tech.
Yeah, so you have
and
your own
computers,
podcasting company.
And I started my own podcasting studios, and I produce podcasts for people and stuff like that. My whole life, I've been the guy that people go to for like, hey, my computer is broken. Hey, I need to build a website. How do you do that? Hey, I want to start a podcast. How do you do that? Do you get a lot of calls like that, or is reptiles way more specific where you don't get it that much? And does it bother you? Like if a family, like if one of your nephews calls you, or your cousin or something calls you for reptile things, or you're like, here we go.
No, well, listen. Number one, it doesn't bother me, and I get 1,000 a day.
If I called you, would it bother you?
No.
Be honest.
No, nobody.
Yeah.
No,
Oh,
seriously,
he's serious.
Like I literally get, and I'm not saying 1,000. I bet you I get realistically 15 to 25 of those calls or emails a day, every day.
That's
Like,
a lot.
hey, I've got this issue. Can you help me out with it? I never care. I literally love giving people advice and helping them. It's never gotten old. Never gotten old. That's the one thing I can talk about: social media, and I can talk about reptiles, and to some extent business forever, and I never get sick of it.
Oh, that's great.
Like you could never talk to me about reptiles enough. You could never talk to me about social media enough, and in most cases, you can never talk to me about business enough. Sometimes business gets a little bit old, where I'm like, all right, I've heard enough or whatever.
But it's the same. It's analogous to. I'm still trying to say that word.
That's
It's a good
actually-
word,
that-
dude.
that's not-
Good
that's
job.
analogous.
Teach me what's analogous mean.
Analogous.
You know what an
It's not-
analogy is?
Analogous.
No, it's
What
actually
analogy is?
analogous. Actually,
Analogous, yeah.
It's analogous.
Analogous.
But I would think that. How'd you say it?
Analogous.
Analogous, or
No, you said
What the fuck
you
was
said
that?
Angolian,
But you sounded like a Brit. Like I bet you they they say it like that.
You look like a Brit now that I think about it. That's-
Well, thanks, I guess. I fuck my
Never.
cousin.
He's really white.
That's what
shit.
I meant. You're white is what I meant to say.
The way he can talk about reptiles is are you the same way? If you get with a certain comic, you can talk comedy for 3 hours straight, and
Yeah.
you're like, where the fuck did time go?
Yeah, I
Same
think for
thing.
me it's like comedy, business, longboard skateboarding.
Oh wow.
Interesting.
And,
Did you kickflip? Did you
I
kick?
could kickflip.
Nice.
That's about the most I got. That's about. I was never good. A kickflip was
neither.
probably. I could land that 1 out of 10 times in my head.
Yeah, I got injured more than completed a trick.
yeah.
Skateboarding.
And then I like to tell people, if someone asks me what I'm into, I'll say reptiles, but really all my reptile knowledge is just from watching your YouTube videos.
That's a lot,
I'm
though.
not a
That's
real
enough. That's
reptile
enough. Because it's
That
probably all
counts.
bullshit then. It's like that guy don't know shit.
It's just animal abuse
You
topics.
made it up most of the
yeah,
time.
yeah. It's like put a giant snake in a tub.
Sloth in the drawer.
In a drawer. Yeah, put a sloth. I literally said
That's my
that. At one
favorite
point.
one.
I said, someone said, where are you going to keep your sloth? I said, I'm just going to keep them in a racks.
People get so fucked.
Yeah, fucking people are
Oh
fucked
my
up, man.
gosh.
Yeah,
That's what happens though. You
Yeah.
know, you gotta fuck with them because it's how you keep your sanity.
exactly. What do we got,
That's how I
Jake?
keep
Emily says, just got my boyfriend and I Raycons 5 minutes ago, and I used your
nice.
code. Can't wait till they get
Ah,
here.
sweet.
Love you guys. You're
Thank
amazing.
you so much. Yeah, we do you know Raycon? Have you ever seen
Raycon
Raycon?
headphones.
Oh, he
Excellent.
knows,
They
dude.
sponsor a lot of podcasts and
Yeah.
YouTube channels. Is that correct?
Yep, they do.
And
we gotta
use
deal with them.
use the coupon code Brian at checkout.
Brian B.
Brian B.
Brian B. But they are really good. They are.
Yeah,
seriously.
I do
I've
fuck
been
with them.
using them for like a year and a half.
Can't you
As-
shower
sorry,
with them?
But by the way,
What?
mine died this morning.
Get down.
Your Raycons for good or just
no,
need to be
no.
charged?
So have you seen Thelma and Louise?
Yes.
And the Seinfeld kind of thing, like, hey, we're going to run out of gas or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyways, I did that with the Raycons. I'm like, I'm not charging them.
Oh,
I'm going to go as far as I can go. Because they say 24 hours. I went like 3 months.
Wow.
Now, I have no idea if mine were supercharged. I have no idea.
They gave you the supercharged
Special Brian B edition.
Yeah.
If you use coupon code Brian B, it'll last for 3 months.
Yeah, that's right.
Normal ones
But this morning, I put them in and they were dead. I was like, damn it. I went too far.
Here's the thing about headphones for me as a tech nerd.
As a white male.
This is my opinion. I'm a straight white male. Yeah, this is what people want to hear. Yeah. There's headphones. Most people aren't audiophiles.
Yeah.
So
True.
like our Raycons, the highest fidelity, clearest sounding. If you compared them next to the Sony's or these high end,
Sennheisers or something.
Sennheiser. No, they're probably a little lower fidelity.
Yeah.
But for me, I can't tell the difference. I straight up cannot tell the difference. So to me, Apple headphones, $500, Bose headphones, Beats by Dre. These are over marketed bullshit.
Yep.
Yeah, you're paying for the name.
Yeah, you're paying just for the name.
Yeah.
These Raycons are, in my opinion, just as good. They maybe an audiophile would be like, no, they're actually slightly worse. I can't tell the difference.
No, I can't either.
And they're way cheaper. So
way cheaper.
Yeah.
They're like $79
Yeah.
with the coupon code 15% off.
And I'm telling
Brian
you,
B.
I think they're waterproof. I think you can shower with them.
I think you
I'm
can.
serious.
I think you can.
Wait, you for real?
Yeah,
I think
that's
so.
what Anthony was saying.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Well, there you
Remember,
go.
he said he was doing he had the thing on.
Well, we got to make a video of you guys showering in your Raycons.
Yeah,
Yeah,
as a father-son.
Yeah, you guys will be soaping each other,
Yeah.
lathering each other up.
Get my back.
He's got way
We
more.
teamed up with
He's got way more
Manscaped
hair
as
on his chest than I do, though.
on my willy.
Jesus. Little Bogan says, Jericho, nice to put a face with the name. Hello, everyone.
yeah.
2 days till our Arizona trip. Excited to go herping. Do you know
Nice.
how to find a herping guide?
I mean, you could find
Don't say it.
any kind of Audubon type of, just look online. I mean, there's tons of herp guides for Arizona. If you just Google herp guide Arizona, you will find like 5 of them.
Maybe comment on Brian's Facebook page and
Yeah,
say,
yeah.
looking for a herper in Arizona. And you might get some responses.
Yeah, you might get someone might actually take you out and find some.
And maybe
Arizona
you'll fall in
black.
love at the same time.
Yeah.
You'll fall in love and be a herping couple.
Yeah, actually, I met a couple last night at the comedy show that.
This was cool.
Yeah,
this
it
was
is.
cool.
Yeah, it was cool. So
Wait, explain it.
Yeah, so no, I just met them. They were just hanging out and stuff like that. And the girl was local, but the guy had literally just driven up from Oklahoma yesterday and asked to get engaged, and they're getting married. That was just
Crazy. And they knew us.
yeah.
They both,
Wow.
but they
Been
didn't
watching
know.
the
But they
channel.
didn't know they knew.
Yeah,
each- like,
You're like, where do I know you from?
Yeah, they were
You
like,
get that
wait
a lot?
minute.
No, so the guy watched frequently. He said he watched almost every day for the last like 5 years. She watched occasionally, but they didn't know that each other watched.
Oh,
So it was a weird thing.
Another thing they have in
Yeah,
common.
yeah,
oh, it
it's
looks
like-
like this marriage was a good idea.
Yeah,
after
so
all.
that's the
It's like
only reason
Brian.
it's going to work. The only reason it's going to work is
It
because
was
they
just-
watch my
it
channel.
was just such a
as soon as
weird
they unsubscribe,
coincidence.
they're going to get divorced.
They just went to a
And that goes for all of you out there watching. As soon as you unsubscribe, your family is going to fall apart.
Yeah, it's going to be very
Subscribe.
bad. You're going to be
Yeah.
you're going to be in trouble.
leprosy.
Trust me.
Glenn says, "Hey Brian, Noah, Ari, and Jay, glad to be back. Glad been wondering's back. Sorry.
Yeah, so this is so Ari, to explain what that means is that originally Saturday nights, so we have different podcasts on this channel. We have Checking
Right.
In, which is like the family, Choices, which is Noah, and then lately I've been doing Saturday nights like Snake Talk, and it's
Okay.
basically me talking about snakes or
Oh, we
reptiles,
could
stuff
get
like
into
that.
snake
No,
talk. Yeah.
But originally that we're good here because originally Saturday night was supposed to be called Been Wondering. And what it is been wondering what it's like to be a professional comic, been wondering what it's like to be an exorcist, been wondering what it's like to be a ghost hunter, stuff like that.
You've had a ghost hunter on here?
Yeah.
We had a ghost
I
hunter.
can't top that.
Yeah, well, we had an exorcist on.
Yeah.
I can't top
Do you,
that
do
either.
you have any ghost stories though?
No, and the
No?
Comedy Store is supposedly one of the most
heard.
haunted places on the planet that's been on all these ghost hunting TV shows. I personally
Really?
am not, I hate to disappoint you, not a believer really.
Okay.
And I think because my mind's closed off to it, I
Yeah.
have not had any
Yeah,
experience.
yeah, you won't. Yeah, if you're not open to it, something could
And
happen.
I've
to
been
you
there
in
at
the-
3 a.m. by myself too.
Wow,
I've
that's-
been there in the,
Damn, I
late
wanted
night
to go
hours.
there.
There was
3 a.m.
which one was it? We went to the Crystalia show. That theater.
Oh, one
that
in Detroit.
theater,
Oh,
yeah,
the
that-
Masonic Temple.
The
The
right?
Masonic Temple.
Temple.
That thing is
Have you
creepy
been there?
as hell.
Uh-uh.
Did
I
you guys
don't-
get like locked in or some shit for
think
like an
so.
hour?
No.
No,
Oh,
we did actually. So this would have. This is.
You don't even know. I wasn't even there.
So
this is interesting.
This is. I don't know what the deal was with
this.
This
was what, 2 years ago, a year ago?
Yeah, it was It was before COVID, and obviously, and so we get in there, and it's probably 1,500 people, maybe 2,000. I have no idea. Venue, theater. And they shut the doors when you get in, which I think. I mean, I can understand shutting the doors, but they lock the fucking doors.
That's weird, and seems weird. Like against the fire code.
It would seem like it. So when the show ends,
it's crazy.
Like for a half hour, no one can get out.
A half an hour.
Like there must have been a mistake. That
and like
be
people are like
thing.
jamming the doors. Now all the whole crowd is up. Now we're sitting by the stage because your buddy was going to show us, backstage. So we're over here, and I'm even asking the security guy. I'm like, "What's going on?" And he's like, kind of things like, "Hey guys, why aren't you opening the doors? Why are we not doing for like a half hour?" I'll be honest, I started to panic a little.
Yeah, you're like,
I was like, "Are people going to start
Aurora Theater thing?"
That's what I thought.
Yeah,
I thought I was going to get gunned down.
That seems illegal.
It does.
Why do they do that?
I don't know. It was the Masonic Temple. It was those damn Freemasons.
You know what I'm saying?
That's the only explanation I could think
I think so. I don't know.
But it was
the Masonic Temple. So when we were backstage, we were walking behind. There's a bunch of theaters inside the temple, right? And so we're walking backstage to go meet Chris. Dude, there was nobody there.
Oh, that was freaky, man.
I've only had that feeling a few times in my life where you just feel this eerie sensation around you, and you're looking around, you're like, are we alone? Like, what is this?
Oh, that place was creepy.
I don't know.
It was creepy.
It felt like a
Was that your first time there?
It was first time there, yeah. First time there.
You haven't been?
No, what was it? You said I did the Fox?
You did the Fox, yeah.
Yeah, the Fox.
Yeah.
Dope
that place was pretty dope, yeah.
Oh, it was great, man. Yeah, it was great. That's a good theater.
Have you done the Fillmore?
Or no, that's where I was, I think.
Oh, you were at the Fillmore.
I was at the Fillmore.
I think so. Right next.
Familiar.
Yeah, the Fillmore is right next to the Fox. Yeah.
Is that the baby? It's a little smaller than the Fox.
A little smaller.
Yeah.
A little smaller.
Not
than
there.
The
I'll
Fox,
be at the Fox one day.
Yeah.
Well, one day I'll be opening up for Noah. We'll be at the Fox.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah.
No,
you guys should do that.
Maybe.
Let's do
we'll
it.
see.
Let's just do our own tour, man. Not me, but you guys.
Well, we need you because we need to be able to sell tickets.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like,
Brian
Barczyk playing bass.
How are we supposed to sell tickets? And
that's how you get canceled. You sponsor our tour. They watch us and they go, "You endorse this?
What are you thinking, bro?"
15% off with the code Brian B.
No.
Oh my God.
What do you want out of comedy? Do you have any dreams or aspirations? Like,
my dream is to be Louis C.K. before he was canceled. I want to do everything. I want to do a special on a headline. I want to write TV. I want to be on TV. I want to do everything.
Do you do a lot of writing now, or?
Yeah, I do a lot of writing now. I'm writing
obviously
a feature. I do sketches.
Well, you obviously wrote the SNL clip.
Oh, I got the SNL thing.
Let's talk about that. That was crazy, man.
So it's causing me a lot of drama. I don't know if we should talk about it, but
we don't have to.
I'll touch on this. I'll say this. So there was a whole thing where we released a sketch. Me, Alex and Soliaga, my neighbor, and I. He wrote this sketch, and then I helped him with it.
Yeah, and I saw the rendition you guys filmed.
So we put out the sketch. And then SNL put out a sketch very similar, so people were tagging
It's identical.
Me. So then I put it out, and it went like I want to say it went like micro viral.
It went pretty viral. I saw it a lot.
It was like in the comedy community, it went kind of viral. But I'd say.
But I saw it a lot outside.
I think it got like 50,000 views or something.
Yeah.
So like not really viral, but to me that was micro viral. And so nothing really happened from it besides, I got a few hundred followers and people were supporting. Okay. But then Alex got mad that I was getting more attention than he was from this thing that he came up with the idea for and wrote most of it.
Yeah.
So now we're not friends anymore because of it. And it's just caused so much drama. I just deleted it. I was like, I don't want this. This is negative energy in my life. So I just deleted everything. I deleted it off my Instagram, deleted it off of YouTube.
But is writing for SNL, would that be a cool thing for you? Or?
As a comedian, like, listen, when growing up, SNL was amazing.
Yeah, now it seems to be irrelevant.
Now it's not as relevant. I'm not as big of a fan of it, but I'll tell you what, it still pays pretty good, and it would still be a very honorable thing to do and would lead to big opportunities. So, yes, I would still love to do it. And it's submitting another packet this year, so we'll see.
Good.
Knock on wood. I'm not going to get it, but I'm going to try.
Well, no, you got to always try.
You're going to get it, baby.
It is pretty amazing how like the past. Like we were watching some stuff a few months back about just the people that were on SNL back in the day.
Oh, legends.
Oh my gosh. I mean, it's like
they still produce stars. Andy Samberg.
Yeah.
Bill Hader, even in recent years. But obviously.
Back in the day, it was stacked. Every one of them was like, I mean, it was like, how did they put those people on the same Like, and that was the problem, right? Because this guy, Bill Murray wanted this time, and this guy wanted more time, and Chevy Chase was like, "But I'm the star." And
right.
Back
in the day, there was like 5 TV channels.
Yeah,
so if you're on SNL, you were a star from SNL, basically. Now, I couldn't name half the cast members on the show.
No, I couldn't either, to be honest with you.
Do you feel confident in your writing abilities these days compared to like when you started as a comic or stand-up?
So for me, and this is different for every comedian, but for me, it's been kind of, there's pros and cons. So as you get better, I'm better at identifying what's going to work and what's not going to work. Okay. So in that sense, I'm more confident where I could think of a joke and be like, that's going to hit on stage.
Sure.
And I'm still wrong sometimes, but overall I could be like, that's going to work. That's not going to work. Yeah. But I'm also, as you get better, you get pickier. So there's jokes that I might have done a couple years ago, and now I'm like, I don't want to do a joke about that, or that's going to be funny, but not funny enough to be funnier than my current 20 minutes, Sure. So there's a kind of the pros and cons.
Interesting.
Now, do you think there's like the low hanging fruit that when like you're just getting started out, all the like I see a lot of like marijuana jokes, and I mean, is there like that low hanging fruit?
I think you could do a marijuana joke, but you got to make it unique. You got so as long as it's called hacky when you do a joke that kind of. So here's a joke. I think every comedian has a hacky joke at some point. Every single one. It doesn't matter who you are. And
it's a hacky
joke, and that's just kind of a joke that's either really easy to get to, or every comedian has
already very obvious
has jokes. So a common one would be like, I look like so and so and so and so. So my hacky joke that I used to do is, I look like Adam Sandler and Jason Biggs double teamed a bigger Jew with no talent. Funny joke kills every time. Hacky, because every comedian has a joke. I look like this person and this person.
You kind of do look like Adam Sandler a little bit.
Like a spot on.
It's true though. It's true.
Yeah,
we could have actually, if we would have named this Adam Sandler,
probably done better.
No, we love it. So let's hit a couple of other supers.
Yeah, you
Mr.
got
Simple
it, man. I got a couple on my phone too. So Jay says, "Hey guys, how are you, Noah? And you should make a video or a movie on your stand-up so I can see it. And Brian, if you ever need backup, there's Redneck got your back."
Thank you. I need you to bust some heads for me pretty soon.
I tried filming some stuff. It's hard when you're performing to film as well as focus.
Well, we could always film for you when you get to that point.
And here's the even bigger issue. You're 2 months into comedy. You release your set right now. In 6 months, you're going to be like, why did I put that on the internet? That was so bad. I hate it.
It's true.
Yeah.
That happened to me. I did this show called Comedy Time. I was 6 months into comedy. I had a prepubescent mustache at the end.
Dude.
I had a shirt. Much like this with like holes in it, I was wearing, and I'm hosting an open mic. I'm hosting the open mic at the Ice House, and there's a show called Comedy Time that's going on in the main stage of the Ice House, and they have a YouTube channel with like 1 million subscribers or something. Yeah, and you're supposed to do 8 minutes clean. I'm 6 months comedy. I maybe have 5 minutes not clean. Maybe. Maybe. So a comic drops out of the show because I'm hosting the open mic. The booker comes up and he goes, "Hey, do you have 8 minutes clean?" And I'm just like, trying to make it. And I'm like, "Yeah, of course I have 8 minutes clean." And he goes, "Okay, you're going up in 10 minutes. You're doing Comedy Time." And he's like, and I'm wearing the shirt that I skateboard in, so it's covered in holes and logos. He's like, "Put your shirt inside out, because there's logos." So I'm literally wearing tags out.
Oh no.
Holes on. I have a prepubescent mustache. I have a fro, like a Jew fro going. I need a haircut. I don't have the time, so now I'm like going through my notes, going through these half-baked jokes that are not ready to be on YouTube. They film my set. Somehow I actually did good. Like the set went well. I didn't bomb.
Nature.
But now that video is still on YouTube.
And you're like, you wish it wasn't.
And I wish it wasn't. I go back and I look at that video and I cringe. I am so bad. It is so horrible. And I emailed them and say, "Hey, can you take it down?" And they're like, "You signed the contract. It's up."
That's it.
Well, it's interesting though. I kind of like that stuff because with YouTube, it's so vast these days. Like you can see videos of Louis C.K. and stuff in the
back in the day,
early 90s, late 80s, maybe probably earlier, whatever. Point is, you see him and his set's really fast. You can tell he doesn't have it figured out yet.
Yeah, it's not the same Louis C.K. we know today.
Yeah, and it's cool to actually see his shitty performance because you're like, it gives me confidence. It's just like, wow, this great comic was shit. And
that is cool.
And he developed.
Now
over
ask him
years.
how he feels about it.
Yeah. He probably doesn't feel the same way. Yeah.
No, of course not, because we're all our worst critic.
Yeah.
But
Well, it's just like me with the first YouTube stuff. If I look at my first YouTube videos, I'm like, oh, Jesus.
Right. Yeah. It's
100%
probably exactly like that. You watch that, you go, oh,
it.
look, I was out of focus. Look how bad the audio is.
Yeah, and you're just so like, you look like deer in the headlights, like, hi, I'm Brian. This is Brian.
honestly, I don't even feel good about the stuff I put out today. So,
Right.
like,
Perfect.
yeah, it's like it sucks. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Is just
Do you
to
have
feel good
you've been
about
having
myself.
comics on your podcast? Have you
Yeah.
have you noticed you saying you don't know if people are nice or fake nice to you now?
Yeah.
Have you noticed people have been trying has anyone been reaching out to you? Hey, can I do your podcast too? Has it been a thing like that?
There's been some pushy people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are the worst.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like it's weird because like I'm grateful, but like, you know, it is my podcast, so like I kind of want to have a choice.
Yeah, and it's the same thing when you start running comedy shows because like you hosted the open mic and you might one day do a show or something. Comics are very aggressive. They will go up to you. You know, I wouldn't be surprised you're hanging out there. Hey, Brian, put me on your YouTube channel. You know, whatever it is. Comics are pushy.
Yeah, it's like sometimes you got to be a
You
sharp.
probably get that
Everyone's
even
trying to get
in
that
general.
ticket. Yeah. For
Yeah,
sure.
I mean, that's part of, as you grow, though.
But it's all right though. I don't
But I think-
mind though because like I feel like I was just like born into some bullshit, so I can spread the love. I can
Yeah.
spread the love, and at the end of the day, all I'm trying to do is just try to perfect the craft. So
Yeah, get better.
like just hanging out with more people is just gonna give me a wider perspective on how to mold myself and become myself. Because I
On
think
that little thing called life.
don't you do you on a serious note? Do you believe that? Because I'm trying to figure things out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you believe that when you're when you're yourself on stage, that's when it's like the best, right?
I think I think that's where you want to be, and I think that's when you're most authentic, and that's when the crowd will be most related to you and really feel. No one wants to watch a guy where you go, they're funny, but like that accent isn't real, something like that.
Yeah, because like sometimes, some days I'll be real tight up in my shoulder, and I'll just be like tense and stuff, and I won't feel good about what I'm doing. I may even get a couple laughs, but I won't feel right. But some days it's like I tap into just the core of myself, just Noah Barczyk, and like last night, I felt really good last night, just real comfortable and loose, and I probably didn't even do that well, but
No, you did good. I think you did really good. Now I'm not just
But I
saying
felt
that because
good.
I'm your dad.
Yeah, would you
That's
say,
all I
oh,
know.
yeah, I love you, but that was not it tonight.
I hope they would.
I probably
I think he would, to be
Yeah,
honest
I
with
hope
you.
they
Lori
would.
definitely would. You know what I mean? You kidding me? She'd be the first one to be like, yeah, you pretty much should stop comedy right now. Go move on to something else.
I never let that stuff get to me though. Like and I think starting YouTube gave me an advantage though, because hate comments, your material
True.
that you post, you get hundreds of comments on, right?
Yeah.
And most of them in my case were just like shit.
And it
blah,
helped
blah,
you.
blah.
You're probably, like you were saying, you get nervous in the beginning, and now you're more comfortable talking to a camera, and that translates to
Yeah.
the stage a little bit as well.
It's just tough in that. I mean, like I said, yesterday was the first time I've been to an open mic like that. It's tough. Those rooms are tough, man, because you're not performing for anybody really. You're just
Nobody.
performing for yourself.
And 6 or 7 real people is more than most,
Right.
at least in LA.
Yeah.
It's more than, oh my God, way more than most. You were there
Yeah.
on a good night.
I was there on a
that
good
was a
night. It was a good night because I was just like, holy cow, this is crazy. I mean, don't get me wrong, great people, and there were some funny people too. There were a lot of not so funny people, but
Yeah.
it was funny because a couple of the guys, I'm like, this guy looks like he's gonna rip, man. He got up there and they like, I mean, almost every one of them was like this. Like have to look
Reading
at
off their
they
phones,
have to
yeah.
like look at their stuff, and I'm like, wow, this is crazy. Like and some of them had been doing it for like 6 years. I'm like, holy cow, like wow, this is
And
wild.
you also never know. They might have just been trying out new stuff that might
Yeah.
not have been the best representation of themselves or at an open mic. But
No,
yeah,
that's true,
but
that's
they
true.
can be brutal.
Yeah.
I remember I did the Laugh Factory open mic in LA, and that mic they open it up at noon, and
Oh my
comics
gosh.
start waiting at noon to sign up,
Oh,
and the
Jesus.
first 20 people who sign up get to perform the next week.
Oh, so you have to go
wait
back a week?
Yes, you wait 6 hours outside in the sun. It's all a publicity stunt for the Laugh
Yeah, yeah.
Factory, so it looks like they're busy.
Sure,
but
sure.
you wait 6 hours in the sun, you sign up, then the next week you come back and you get to do 3 minutes clean.
Wow.
Why
And then you
clean?
hope if you have the best set of the night, then you come back the next week and you get 5 minutes clean.
Oh my gosh.
So I did that, and I was up to the 5-minute spot, right? So I got the 5-minute clean. And I'm all excited. The booker's like, come back next week. You're doing 5 minutes clean. I'm like, yes, I'm making it. I'm a comedian. Look at me go. My dad is in town from San Diego and my aunt. And I'm like, yeah, come with me. I'm doing the Laugh Factory 5 minutes clean, right? I get there. I guess the booker like didn't write my name the week before. So the security guard's like, yeah, you're not on the list, man.
Shit.
I can't let you in. You're not on the list. I'm like, no, the booker last week told me to come back. He goes, I don't see you. You got to go. I'm like, can you just I'm not lying to you. Can you get the booker? Can we clear this up? She's
Jesus.
like, ugh, okay, just not being nice at all. Gets the booker. She comes out. She goes, oh, yeah. I said he could go up. He can go up, right? So I go up. Jamie Masada, the owner of the Laugh Factory, he's in the back of the room, which he not normally is, but I guess they were doing like a story for LA Times. So there's all these comedians, because Jamie's there. Normally there's 20 comedians, there's like 40 comedians, and my dad and our aunt are in the back of the room. By the time I'm like last on the list, and by the time I'm up, whatever little energy in the room is gone because there's been 40 comedians, literally. I'm not exaggerating. 40 comedians have gone on stage. I'm up there for 1 minute. And they cut my mic. They cut my mic. So then,
oh my god,
because the article is there, so I'm embarrassed for I feel like shit. My dad and aunt are there watching me get cut after my. And by the way, the 1 minute did not go well either. So I bombed for 1 minute.
Obviously.
Cut the mic. Then because they're doing some article for a paper, Jamie is talking to all 40 comedians one by one and giving them his advice on their comedy. And just so you know, this guy is not a comedian. He barely speaks English. He started a comedy club in the 80s that boomed. He lucked into a profitable comedy club. I'm not talking shit, but I'm just saying he's not the one you should be taking advice from.
You know what's my favorite thing ever? Did you watch Dom Irrera's podcast?
Oh, hilarious.
With Jamie on the side.
Yeah, he's making fun of him all the time.
Yeah, because
it's the best.
This guy can't barely even talk English. And he's like butting in the whole time.
So when he gets
funny.
It's so funny.
So did you get the comedy?
So I'm up last. There's a reporter at the table, and Jamie Masada, I go up, and I'm like, he goes, how'd you feel about the set? I'm like, not good. And also, why'd you cut me after a minute? I was like, I was supposed to do 5 minutes. He goes, oh yeah, I didn't see your name on the list, so I didn't know what you were doing on my stage, so I cut you. And I'm like, the booker told me to come. Like, I'm like, why didn't you ask? Like, why would you do that to someone? He goes, come back in a month. And I'm like,
a month? So did you go back?
I did, but then he wasn't even. I came back in a month. He wasn't there. And since then, I've gotten to perform there on shows. Just not through. You find out there's all this politics in comedy. It's like being funny. You need to be funny, but you also need to be the guy with the podcast, or you need to be this guy. So I ended up getting into Laugh Factory, but not through the open mic, just from a outside producer.
Yeah, it's such a wild thing, and like you said, Noah being 2 months into it, I mean, he's in that I'm sure you remember back to those days. Yeah. It's like he's got, he's just cutting his teeth, and
that's the fun. That's the fun. You think in the moment, you're like, oh, does it get better? That's when it's the most fun.
Really?
I don't mind it at all.
Yeah.
It's just a big old learning book. Like, I'm just trying to learn. That's it. It's just very interesting. And honestly, I feel blessed that I can be comfortable on stage this early. Like, I get nervous, but when I see other people and they just shell up.
Right.
And that happens like maybe occasionally. Like, I'll just fucking get in my head. But dude, I'm telling you, like, I feel good when I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Like,
that's great.
And so I don't feel like.
And you do a lot. I mean, you're doing a lot a week. I don't know. Is there a lot? There's tons of open mics in LA, or is it hard?
They are, but they're really bad. You have to pay $5 to do it, and you're going up in front of just comedians who are waiting to go up. So it's very hard to get feedback. Most people say you're supposed to start in a smaller market, such as Detroit or a suburb of somewhere, and get a bunch of stage time. Yeah, because he can do open mics like almost. Yeah, so you can get up and get the grind in and get your hot 10 or hot 15 minutes, and then when you're feeling confident, then you move to a bigger market like LA or New York or one of these other cities. I didn't know
Austin.
that. Yeah, or now Austin. Yeah,
exactly.
I was just there. Austin's dope.
Is it? Were you there?
I was there like 2 weeks ago.
Did you do some work or?
Yeah, just to do shows for the week, and it was a blast.
Was it?
It was.
Man, Texas is booming. I mean, is everyone just moving away from LA? Is that what the deal is, or?
I think it's.
You think you'll come back?
No, I think LA and New York will still be the scenes to go to. Yeah. But Joe Rogan's powerful, and when he moves to Austin, there's going to be people who follow, and I think
powerful,
that's what happened.
JRE?
Yeah,
literally.
we
went to one of his shows. He's funny.
Oh my
he's great.
God.
Yeah, he's funny, dude.
He's funny. He's nice, and he's the Johnny Carson of our era.
Yeah, he is.
And I'm not the first person to say this, but if you want to become a headlining comedian, your best shot is getting on the Joe Rogan podcast and being funny.
I had a buddy of mine named Matt Staggs up until like 2 years ago booked every one of Joe Rogan's things. He was the booker for Joe Rogan.
That's so cool.
And what happened was probably 5, 6, 7 years ago or something like that, Matt reached out to me because he had his own podcast and he watched my vlog. And he was like, hey, listen, I'd love to, at the time it wasn't a vlog, it was Snake Bites. But so I went on his podcast, small podcast, but still, had a good time, really good time. And he pitched me to Jogan. He hit me with Jogan. He pitched me to Joe Rogan about 7 or 8 times, and he said no every time. And this was before Joe was big. He wasn't huge at the time, but you could see he was still big. He was still, and Joe said that he just didn't like reptiles. That's what he said. He goes, but I did.
Maybe that's why I've never been on Joe Rogan.
Maybe, but I did meet Joe a couple times. Really nice dude. Really nice guy. But I didn't ask him to go on his podcast though.
Have you seen him live?
Yeah, a bunch of times. So I was a door guy at the Comedy Store. So I've been lucky enough to watch. I was there when Louis C.K. recorded his special. I've seen Tosh. I've seen Rogan. I've seen Seinfeld. I've seen literally all my dream comedians. It's the mecca of comedy.
Now, do they still do door slots? Like, do people still work a door job at the Comedy Store?
Everyone who works at the Comedy Store is a comedian.
Right.
For the most, except for the waitresses and the managers, but every door guy is still. So that's where like Mark Maron started, David Letterman, Robin Williams. There's all Ari Shafir, Tony Hinchcliffe. There's all these legends that were door guys there. So it's still that way. And then we get to open up the show. So I would work there for minimum wage, and my real payment was I would get to open up, do 5 minutes at the top of the original room show or the main room show. So I'd get to be on this lineup with all these legends and Joe Rogan and all these people. And the cold open 5 minutes is the toughest spot. Toughest spot because the audience isn't warmed up.
You're just fresh. People are just there.
You got to get them. So there's
not to mention they're probably there to see all these other guys.
100%.
Who's this guy?
Who's this guy wearing the Comedy Store T-shirt? The door guy is doing comedy. So you got 5 minutes to get him, and sometimes you do, and sometimes you don't. But it's
that's been like a fun little thing for me lately. Like I love showing up early just fucking be there early, so I don't have to worry about showing up late. And so usually number one spot, show up, go up. I can get it. It's been a fun thing for me lately, just putting myself first because it's so fucking miserable. Then I'm like, I got to get good at going first because if I can, then I'll be a fucking killer. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The hosting spot possible, is I mean, you can get better at it for sure. There's still some times where the crowd is just not ready, and the best you're gonna do is okay. At least maybe I'm making excuses, but from my opinion, because there's some opening spots you go up there and you kill it, and you're like, that was great right off the top, and then there's some where you do all your best shit, and you're just like, they were not wanting comedy right.
I remember. So yesterday, Noah had this guy on, funny as shit, by the way. His name's JD on the podcast, and he was also performing last night too. And the guy, it is funny. Like everyone says this about Noah. Well, not what he said about you, but everyone's like, Noah's got a great energy, stuff like that. Like he's gonna, he's got something special about him. Whatever.
He's a silly boy. I said it to him the first time I met him. But I do comedy.
But JD on the stage goes, give it up for Noah. He's a great guy. He's got something special. He goes, fucking guy ain't funny at all. He ain't funny. He goes, but he's got great energy. He goes, he ain't funny, but he's got great energy.
He's not funny yet.
He's
not even funny yet.
He's not even funny yet. So it's but I think the thing for me, Ari, is that number one, I'm glad that we're friends, and I think that I love the fact that I'm confident that 5 years from now, 3 years from now, something like that, you're going to have that HBO special or that Netflix special or whatever the case is. And that's what I love, because I'll be like, I knew Ari before that.
Before he was cool.
And it's, no, he was always cool. But no, I love that. And I've had a lot of friends that have been, successful. And that's awesome. And I know that you will be, because you're on a fucking great trajectory. I mean, you're still in that like upper 1%. You know what I mean?
It's hard to complain because I've gotten to do so many cool things and tour the world. And
speaking of that, I know you said Australia is amazing. Any other places you've been that is amazing?
Maui.
Maui.
Got to do a show in Maui. That was pretty awesome.
Yeah,
just because it was like, the way we looked at it is, I went there with Theo too, and we were like, hey, it doesn't matter how the show goes, we're still in Maui. So we just hit the beach. But the show was awesome. But even if it wasn't, it's like Maui.
You did some European stuff, right?
Yeah, we went through Europe, London, Ireland, Scotland.
Ooh, I love those places.
Where else? Sweden, Switzerland, Sweden, Norway.
Wow,
I was in Norway, so it's been, and it's like it was awesome. Don't get me wrong, but sometimes in the moment, it's hard to appreciate it because it goes by so fast.
Yeah.
And then reflecting now, I'm like, wow,
yeah,
I gotta perform in a theater in Norway. That's incredible.
Yeah,
but,
it's the same for us.
funny.
I mean, you know, like I've traveled all over the world, and so many times, like when you're in the moment, you're not really appreciating it as much because you're just, I'm there to work, I'm there to do something, I'm there to do, you know, and although I'm enjoying it, it's like, it's not until afterwards you go like, holy shit,
I was
man,
just
you know?
thinking about this yesterday about Playlist Live. Do you know what that is? It's like this YouTube convention, and like a bunch of fans from all across the world will meet their biggest YouTubers.
You guys go to that?
Yeah, we typically do.
Pre-COVID.
And where is that located?
Florida,
Orlando,
or DC, Washington DC.
Yeah. And then there's a VidCon in LA.
Right.
And,
okay. I think I went there once.
Yeah, it's similar stuff. And I was just thinking, like with COVID and everything being locked down, I was reminiscing, like you say, and I was like, damn, next time that happens, I'm really gonna soak it in more.
Totally.
Really just appreciate it because.
Well, I've thought about that even with whether it's a comic or like an athlete, you know. I mean, think about the athletes. You know who I really feel bad for is the athletes that are retiring in COVID. You know what I mean?
Wow,
like, you know what I mean? Like they go out instead of having 40,000 cheering fans.
Yeah.
They're skating off the ice or walking off the court or, you know, the field
That's
and without. Now, thankfully, it's coming back.
Right.
Like here in Detroit, I know you said you want to go to a Tigers game. You'll love the stadium. It's great. The team's not so good, but
It's true.
Well, they're playing the Yankees, so I'll get one good team.
oh yeah, there you go.
shit.
There you go. Yeah, I see Judge. But it's you know, it's full. It's full now. Although it won't be full. I mean, there's 40,000 tickets for sale. There might be 6,000 to 8,000 people in the stadium.
Wow.
Yeah, not too many people go to Tigers games these days.
What day is it?
Winter.
I think we might. It might be tomorrow. I need to check. And yeah, my brother's the real baseball fan. We go. You guys are more than welcome to go. By the way.
Yeah, it's. I've wanted to go for the last.
Dude, let's join the
army.
the families together. My parents are going to be there.
Oh, look at that, man.
Let's do it. We'll connect.
Yeah.
Celebrate.
I just don't. The only thing, and I'll let you know on that one because I don't know if I'm going out of town or not.
That's
But
true.
I'm still not sure what's going on with this weekend because of the dog and stuff like that.
We're originally dog.
Yeah, we're originally going out to Grand Rapids for Memorial Day, but now it may or may not happen. I don't know what's going to happen. My stupid dog. We should probably cut it off.
That would just make it way better.
Then we can go to the Tigers game.
Yeah, then we go. Yeah, I mean, listen.
Fuck.
Think about it. You got to weigh the odds. What's better, Tigers game, his leg?
It's fucked up. Just get him a wheel.
There's plenty of dogs out there. Let's just get a new dog.
Yeah. They don't live that long.
You have a Craigslist ad.
Yeah.
We'll just,
Everyone has a free dog.
A little bit.
Yeah, free dog. Yeah. Let's hit a couple supers before everyone.
Yeah, Simple Man says, what's Ari's favorite experience at the Reptarium?
Oh, okay.
Oh, there's so many. I got to hold salt and pepper. First off, I literally drove from the airport to this podcast.
Yes, yeah. So you saw about 5 minutes.
So I have not seen the 2.0, what would you call it, 2.0 version of the Reptarium.
Oh, shit.
But Reptarium 1.0, which I saw a year or two ago, I got to hold salt and pepper when they were about half the size they are now. That was incredible because alligators are my favorite animal. I got to see RJ.
Yep.
I got to meet Brian. I got to see the rhino iguana, which I've always wanted one.
Yep.
And just
you got to meet Diddy and Dixie this time.
They're
He's never even met Ivy though.
Yeah, Ivy's amazing.
You've never met Baby Kush.
The big anaconda.
So many.
Yeah, plus we saw the sloth for a couple seconds today.
Oh yeah, the sloth. I got it.
Just for a couple seconds.
Honestly,
but we're gonna have a lot of fun.
So many things at the Reptarium that are.
Yeah, we're gonna have a good time
cool.
when we, like I said. Hopefully you guys can come back tomorrow morning or whatever. And
I mean that's the main reason I came to Detroit was to see you guys. Yeah, while I'm here, gonna do all the other stuff.
Yeah, and you going to Henry Ford too?
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the Ford
That's
factory.
that's cool.
Oh,
that's seriously
dude,
that's cool.
I have a gas station open mic. If you want to.
I'm there.
Actually, I don't think it's an open mic. I think there's strippers.
Is that tonight? That's tonight, right?
Yeah, I got
right when I get a girlfriend, I get invited to the stripper open mic.
Stripper gas station.
It's $10 at the door. We don't have to pay though because we got invited. Okay.
Oh shit!
I'm telling you, listen to this, bro.
You're saying you're getting me $10 for free?
Yeah.
I can get you a blowy and some weed for free.
I am there.
Listen, okay, but for real, you know the song, you know T Grizzly? T Grizzly?
No.
Oh,
Sing
shit.
it.
So you don't know the song? Joy Road, bitch, but the money long like 6 Mile, Brick Mile.
There's no way it's as good as this version of it.
Exactly. Well, it's probably, yeah. But the point is, it's on Joy Road. So it's like
It's like they're joyful.
yeah, they're joyful.
I wish it was like that. So
It's
it's up
not
to
exactly
you.
the
If you
best.
want
I'm in.
to, if you want to,
Oh my God.
Let's do some comedy.
Let's do. I'll give the
Oh
guy a
my
call.
God.
See if we can
Yeah,
get
see if
on.
you can pull some strings.
See the open mic.
I know that it's in demand. This stripper gas station, Mike. You might be like, we don't have time for this LA guy.
Yeah.
We got these Detroit comics. We got to get up.
This
You
guy
don't
that opens for
understand.
Theo Von.
Yeah.
It's an open mic. We might not want to do this.
Dude, I wasn't saying because of your talent or nothing. I was saying for your
Yeah,
safety, bro.
No, it's definitely it's a little bit
Good
tough,
for
man.
safety.
Joy Road is like it could be called
Oh,
Kill
it's in
Road.
the ghetto, is what
Oh,
you're
it's
saying.
hood as
Yeah.
fuck.
Is that
It's
are
a
you allowed to
gas
say the
station with
ghetto now?
strippers.
Good
Where
news.
else would you find that?
That's what I'm saying, bro. It's
It's
yeah, it's not a running gas
Well,
station.
we could stop at Walmart and get bulletproof vests or something.
Yeah, that's true.
Fair.
Do they
True.
sell them there? Walmart probably.
Walmart has
That's-
everything.
Yeah.
They got
Snakes
Walmart
at
has
Walmart.
bulletproof
They're
vests.
gonna
Yeah,
put you
sure.
guys out of business.
Yeah,
at
yeah,
Walmart.
yeah,
They sell
they might as well,
snakes,
yeah.
They sell lizards.
Yeah.
It's a BYOB event. Bring your own beer.
What? Jeez, this is
telling
sounding
you.
better
Do you
all
ever
the
roll
time.
the open mics with a big reptile?
No,
that'd
because
be-
listen. You want to know why?
You don't want to be too flashy.
It would kill the whole fucking night.
Yeah.
No one else is gonna even get a giggle if I bring an alligator.
Yeah, you're right. You'd steal
and that's
the show.
just a fucking cock block. I'm
So
not.
what you're saying is, I'll bring the reptile.
Yeah.
I'm bringing RJ to the gas station.
Yeah, oh man, could you?
But
oh,
also,
man.
I don't
That's right.
I don't. On a real note,
I do want to film a video where I take a alligator with a leash and walk around the street and just have it being my seeing eye alligator. Or something
We could do that. We could do
can do
that
that.
easy. Yeah, we
can do that.
I know a guy.
yeah. We may know somebody.
We may know somebody. Oh, hey, Ryan and Ben are in the house.
Yeah, R&B Reptile says, where can I send pickleballs for Ari?
Does that mean they
You don't want it.
Did they say that because I have a joke where I mentioned pickleballs, or why
No,
did they say that?
so
Maybe.
they came and they have these.
or they actually have pickleballs.
They
Yeah,
brought
they-
pickleballs.
Oh, I
with
have
them.
a joke about pickleball.
Get out of here!
That's
really?
so funny.
That's funny. Oh yeah, no. This is
Are you
like
talking
some.
about the sport?
Yeah, the sport
Okay, these
pickleball.
are candies.
Oh god,
they're not even
candy.
candies. They're like made of like I don't. Do you even remember-
Aspartame and pickles or something.
I don't know what they are,
Aspartame.
but
Terrible.
it's-
Jesus.
all I know is that they made Mike. You met Mike for a second upstairs. They made him eat one. And he threw up.
No,
So, yeah.
Didn't he like 3 or 4 of them?
Well, yeah, I think he ate 3 or 4.
Yeah, the
but
whole
Yeah,
pack.
he had to, so yeah, you don't want it. Yeah, don't want it to.
these
the
pickleballs aren't that good.
No, not that good.
No.
Tiffany came back, and this is great tips for everybody out there. It says, don't post your kid on Craigslist. You go to jail.
Let's put that to the test.
Yeah, I think we need to
Let's
test
try
that.
it. Let's try
Well,
right
take
now.
a picture of me.
Let's try it right now.
Jade came back, says, Brian, I really want a super black python. Where can I get one, and how much are they? And Noah, I miss your raps.
You just got to hear
I
one
can
of
rap.
those.
I can rap right now.
Let's hear it.
Good.
Yeah, that was
No,
perfect.
I'm not gonna
It's
rap
good-
for you.
good rap.
I will if you want, but I won't because my dad's here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My dad doesn't want to hear that shit.
Wait, what was the black python? What did you say the best place?
So
to
I
go?
don't know what the black. If
She
you're
just
talking
wants a
about
super dark color.
Yeah, if you're talking about like a retic, those are Golden Child Motleys, and they're about $5,000. And there's
then-
not many of them.
No.
There's not many of
pennies.
them.
Bolin's expensive.
Nothing.
But yeah, but Bolin's
white
aren't
lip.
really super black though.
White lips
I
are
mean, they're
pretty
black. They're black, but they're not. But and white lips aren't. I think if she's saying a super black, I'm thinking something like Night Fury.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
thinking. So yeah, they're super.
Are there any? What are those polar panda bear ball
Panda pieds?
pythons?
Panda
yeah.
pieds? Yeah. Panda
How are
pieds.
those looking?
They come out deformed almost all the time.
Fucking.
So yeah, no one wants to breed them
That's
because they're
fucking
garbage.
stupid.
Except for me, I am starting exclusive panda pie breeding company.
How mutated can we get them?
You will.
He's selling these kicked up.
eyes
red-
all over their
Snakes
heads.
need homes too.
Yeah, it's fair, dude.
That's your tagline
That
right
is
there.
your
Special snakes need homes too. Yeah.
It's crazy how many people.
Posted on Craigslist.
Man, there was this weird thing like a year ago or so. Like people, if you bred this specific snake morph called a spider, people would bash the fuck out of you.
yeah.
Because
got
it
it.
led to
Well, because it had
special
some like
Yeah,
it has just slight
specialness.
neurological, like when it'll like wiggle
I
or something
think
like that.
I saw you
And
talking
oh
about
my
this.
gosh, yeah, it's like and the thing was I got like destroyed online because we
Yeah.
breed them, but like I'm only one of like 10,000 people that breed them. You know,
right.
It's
You
like,
just have the most notoriety or most
but
following.
and,
so
and I don't even
Yeah.
breed that many of them, like
Right.
compared to a lot of people. But boy, did I got hammered.
Chewed
you know,
up.
I mean, I got chewed up. But
Yeah, so you'll get a good following if you do.
yeah,
the
if you do the
special
panda,
reptile
yeah,
thing,
special
Yeah.
reptile.
Yeah.
Reptile
Bunch of
people are
haters.
very nice.
Rob says, much love, the Barcheck fam, boys,
Hey, baby.
Jay, and guests. Been a silly busy lately. On my way to some side hustle right now. Stoked I can catch some live on the drive.
Hell
cool,
yeah.
man.
I want to know what a side hustle is.
you know what it
Yeah,
is.
You know
so
what it is.
sketchy sound.
It's at a gas station on Joy Road.
Yeah.
On my way
it's
to
an
the
open
side
mic.
hustle. Do you have any side hustles?
Oh my gosh, I've got so many side hustles.
Website
What's
domains.
considered your?
Yeah,
Do you buy and sell domains?
I don't sell them. I only buy them.
I think that's
You'll
hoarding.
think of a cool
That's
name.
hoarding.
You'll
I-
just think of a cool name.
Every
and
time
buy
I
it.
think of a cool name, I buy it.
What's the coolest one you got?
Oh my gosh, I've got.
What's the
so,
one
so,
you-
You're the
okay,
first one to ask that question.
So all right, let me. Oh man, if I say this, are people going to fuck me?
But
on
you
this?
already bought it.
No,
Oh.
the name, but it's about a product. So
Oh, you
I
don't
don't
have to
just
say it, you don't
no,
have
no, no. I'm going to tell you because I don't give a shit. Because no one's doing it. Because I've been working on it for a while. I can't find anyone to do it myself. So I mean, literally, like I guess it's technologies.
If it comes out tomorrow,
yeah,
we'll die.
yeah. Oh my gosh. So I have about 120 domains now. I don't buy any domains that
That's
are
like gambling at this
yeah,
point.
so I don't buy any domains that I want to buy and sell. To be totally honest with you,
Okay.
or very very few. I've got a couple because like NFTs.
By the
you
way,
know.
I have domains too, but you
Do
go
you?
first.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. You know NFTs.
I know of them. I don't have any.
Yeah,
NFTs.
so like I did buy a couple NFT domains because I think that might be an upcoming thing. But other than that, almost every domain is something like I've got like reptileteeth.com. Don't know what I'm ever going to do with
So
that.
you're gonna
I've
sell
got
teeth,
snakes.
I guess?
Right. I figured like
Start
you know how
ripping them out.
alligators shed teeth. I think we could sell reptile teeth. You know, as
I think
souvenir
that's a
thing.
good idea. I feel like you'd be better off selling them on snake bites and your other domains. But,
yeah, I know. Well, that's what I'm saying. I just
Yeah.
some of these domains will just get redirected
Right,
to other
right.
things and like that. So, but this is my big one. And it's called Photoster. Photoster. Yeah, Photoster
For toaster.
for toaster.
Yes, you're right.
For toaster.
Check this out. Check
so
this out.
so it would be
Hear
a
'em out, hear 'em
toaster. You get a toaster.
Is this real?
Check
Yes,
this out.
dude,
Check
this
I
is so
swear
real.
to God, I've been trying to
Okay.
get this developed. I swear to the Lord. I
Okay.
swear.
to the Lord.
To the Lord.
To the Lord.
Amen.
Amen, motherfucker.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. No. So you would have an app on your phone
Okay, I got
that
those.
Bluetooth
Oh, I got that.
connects to your toaster.
To your
Okay.
toaster.
And anything on your phone.
Do you have a Bluetooth toaster?
No.
You guys are rich.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the Bluetooth toaster, any picture saying anything on your phone, you could toast onto your
On your
toast.
bread.
Onto your bread.
That's the big one.
Whatever it is.
Any
it's called
That's
the
a great idea.
It's called the Photoaster.
That's an amazing idea.
So I've got Photoaster.com.
I'm glad I listened to that.
Yeah,
that
Right?
honestly, that's cool.
No, it's a
Yeah,
great
geez.
because you
So
think
I've been
like
working
IHOP
for
could be
like
printing
2
them out,
years.
you know?
Yeah, I've been working for like 2 years to try to get a company to do it.
a toaster company.
A Taiwan, just a manufacturing
factory.
to
We
do
got to
it.
go to China and figure this out.
Yeah,
got
This
to.
is-
The
this is-
photoaster.com.
This is going to make this reptile zoo pennies.
Yeah.
Like this
Well,
toaster
did
is
you
where the
know that-
money's at.
Do you know
I
what?
agree.
I have I got to show it to you. It's called the Tipster. So I have the tipster.com,
And
tipsterchallenge.com.
we actually have 10,000.
You have
I have-
if you want
tipster.com?
one.
Yeah,
Tipster.com you own?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
a good name.
Yeah, it's a good name. And I've got a product called the Tipster.
What's that?
So the Tipster is...
You're an inventor.
A series, it's patented and everything, so no one can fucking steal my idea.
Yeah,
bitch.
the toaster idea is Brian's, you leeches.
Yeah. It's a series of rings that solo cups fit into, and then they clip onto each other, and it's got a handle, and they'll waterfall into each other, and you can drink as many things. Or if you want to say you have orange juice, champagne orange juice, it'll make a mimosa as you go, or whatever the case is.
This is something you're
There's
doing?
10,000 in the basement
10,000
next door.
Next
You
door.
have 10,000 tipsters?
Yeah.
We have 10,000 tipsters. Unfortunately, bad
What went
timing.
wrong here? Yeah.
The
Corona.
COVID, yeah.
Okay, so
bad time for
it's on
drinking.
pause.
It's on
the
pause.
tipster will
It's
be
coming.
there.
It's coming back in
The
as soon as.
tipster is going to be in
Yeah,
full force.
yeah.
Everyone's going to have one.
Yeah,
Gonna be
so
in
I've
every
got
house.
I've got a lot of
I
side
didn't realize
hustles.
you were such a little entrepreneur.
Oh, I've got tons of side hustles.
If we're
Trust me.
shooting ideas out, I got a new shirt idea for you.
Uh-oh.
Okay, just keep sleeping. Okay, because you know that it's,
Just
it's
keep
a,
swimming?
It's a play on words of the just keep swimming. And it'll be a sleeping tegu.
Okay.
Oh, I
know
thought
the
it was
chicken.
for lazy people. Like, hey, don't wake up and start your
It could
day.
be a
Stay-
sloth, too.
Just keep
Yeah.
sleeping.
Could be a
You
sloth.
depressed fuck.
Oh, it's sloth would work.
Yeah, it could be this
That worked
Drogo.
too.
Yeah,
But
Drogo.
I was thinking Tegu because reptile army,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, yeah,
reptile.
yeah.
But
Yeah,
you could
yeah,
do
yeah,
sloth, I
yeah,
suppose. But it was just an idea because our Tegus always are just so tired.
Yeah, but no, trust me. I got a lot of side hustles.
That's cool.
He
I
does.
own the
So,
domain
yeah.
name badgedelight.com.
Ooh.
Yeah,
And
that's
I
a good
see
one,
it as like a
though.
lesbian porn site.
Interesting. I
It's
thought
a
of
good
it.
one though.
I thought it
It's a good one.
Because everyone
I
likes
thought-
vag.
I thought it was a vagina flavoring product.
Yeah, that's what I
Oh,
thought
not
too.
gonna lie.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
like
that's a
you
good
could put it
idea.
in your water.
And that way,
Yeah.
that way I could do it and not be ashamed of it.
Yes.
If it's a vagina flavor,
Oh, it
because I
just makes
can't
you
actually start a
pussy.
lesbian
Yeah, if you-
porn site.
Yes.
Yeah, the les porn site might be a little bit. It's a crowded field.
It is
Yeah.
crowded.
You know, so but
crowded.
the vag flavored water, that's probably not.
Whoa,
crowded.
whoa,
wait a
whoa.
second.
The water's
Hold
not
on.
flavored like vagina.
No, I'm thinking vag. No, the Vag-Lite. This is what I'm thinking.
This is what
Vag-Lite.
he's
Okay.
thinking.
It's like, it could be
It's like that
product A,
candle.
product
It's like
B.
that Gwyneth
True,
Paltrow
true.
candle.
What comes to me is that you get the little packet,
The little
with
Kool-Aid
the
packet or
little, it's like a little
whatever.
crystals, but they're vag flavored.
Oh, like that
And
Gwyneth
you pour 'em
Paltrow
into
candle.
You pour them into the water. You
And
shake
we
it
can
up.
have like reptile vagina flavor too.
Cloaca.
Out of that.
Bestiality.
we can have-
Cloacal water.
Yeah, some rhino iguana vag flavor.
I
Wonderful.
don't know what that was. I bet you some of my crew know.
There's definitely a couple.
Jade's trying.
Whoa, not me, man. Other
knows
Jay.
all about that.
Yeah, that's my thing. I do love them rhino iguanas though.
Vagina.
It is a good one though. Any other good ones?
This one I bought 10 years ago. It's called violentarcade.com. And I remember
that
when
was
Flash games were popular
Yeah,
online? Like
Mini
no one
clip and all
does
that
this
stuff.
anymore. But yeah, the mini card.
Hell yeah.
Back in the day, there was no iPhone games. You
Yeah.
go on miniarcade.com.
Yeah, or
play
E-Bomb's
games.
World or
yeah,
whatever.
exactly. So I bought Violent Arcade back then, but I still have it for some
Damn,
reason.
that would have been a bumper back
Yeah,
then.
that
too,
would've
I've
been.
got
Yeah,
Reptile
would've been.
Tycoon.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Because I want to do a reptile breeding game.
Yeah, like
mobile
Roller
game.
Coaster Tycoon,
yeah,
Reptile. That's
yeah,
the one.
reptiletycoon.com. I got a ton of them, but what else we got? We got Simple Man
Yeah,
here.
Simple Man says, "What's your opinions of the late
Ooh,
great Charlie
That's
Chaplin?
a good one.
Great
do you think?
mustache.
Yeah, incredible. I mean, pioneer of his day.
Yeah.
In a hilarious silent film
I mean, you
star,
don't have
right?
to
Little
lie.
No, I mean it's dated. Obviously, I don't know that. I don't
Probably
know.
doesn't
Sure,
work
if
now.
I had a kid right now, it's like I don't know if I'd be like, you gotta watch the Charlie Chaplin. But obviously, legend and feel if there was a comedy Hall of Fame, he'd be in it.
I watched in high school in like history class. They would make us watch them. Just
Yeah.
silent films.
Yeah, it's
just
history.
silent films. You know, it was like I don't know. It didn't really leave a mark on me.
It's history. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
I went to film school, as I
Yeah.
was saying, and that's the same thing. They make you watch these movies that were the best when they came out. Like, what was that really racist movie that came out, but was the best one in its day?
Countless.
Yeah,
yeah.
you got to narrow it down a
There
little
was
bit
one,
more.
I forget what it's called. It's considered by some the greatest film
Godzilla?
ever made.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm just shooting
I
here.
don't remember the name, but now you watch them and they're so old. It's
So
hard
bad.
to watch them. They're kind of boring, but when they came out, they were incredible works of art.
Yeah, there's even like Blazing Saddle or something like that. It's another one that you watch now, and it's like oh boy.
Yeah, totally.
Makes you feel like kind of uncomfortable even watching them. A lot of the old Richard Pryor stuff and even old Eddie Murphy stuff is like But yeah, Charlie Chaplin. The thing that's interesting about Charlie Chaplin is that he was a pretty major philosopher too. He wasn't just a comic. I mean, he was a very deep person. If you ever read some of his writings, he was a pretty amazing guy. He wasn't just a comic. Is what I'm
I
saying.
didn't know that. That's
Yeah,
interesting.
it's pretty amazing what he stood for. He was way ahead of his time when it came to like racial things and stuff like
Wow.
that. He was almost like the Martin Luther King of comedy in a way. It's seriously read up on Martin.
Yeah, that's
on
actually really
Charlie
cool.
Chaplin.
That's cool.
He's actually like when you read some of his quotes, you won't think it's from a comic. You'll think
Right.
it's from like a philosopher.
That's how
Really
I feel
amazing.
about
Pretty
Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah,
Definitely.
he definitely thinks
Yeah.
about
Like-
things. Same with Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
On some level, like the things he
think,
talks
yeah.
about on his podcast, he's not. That's the thing. You listen to his podcast, you're not laughing most of the time. It's just
No,
more in-depth, deep conversations.
definitely.
Yeah, no, he's a smart dude, but it's also a lot of his I think that he reads a lot, number one. I think number two, having 2, 3, 4 pretty in-depth conversations a week for years, you learn a lot.
Yeah.
From your people that
Yeah.
you learn
Got
from,
to.
you become an expert in a lot of different fields, and he's had some bangers on. I mean,
He just had Neil
physicists
on,
and-
Neil
yeah.
deGrasse Tyson the other day.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Yeah,
Elon a bunch.
again for like
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
sixth time or whatever.
yeah, I mean that's
But still.
but I
Yeah,
still think
Elon Musk, Chappelle, he's had
know.
literally everyone.
He's got these astrophysicists in his pocket, just like pulling them out and just.
but don't you think that it's like kind of like just right place, right time? I mean, Joe is a great, he's a great host. He's a good interviewer. All those things, but it could have been 1,000 people.
course.
That could have been.
I
It
think
just-
there's definitely luck plays into it, but it's also he had the foresight to see that and want to do it. But yeah, I would say there's definitely a luck element to it. Probably in any successful business, you would say. Like, have you heard the podcast "How I Built This" with Guy Raz?
No.
It's pretty good. It's on NPR, but basically he has Fortune 500 CEOs, people who started Fortune 500 companies,
I think I have
tell
seen
the
this,
story of how their company became this huge company. And his final question to every guest is, so what percentage do you equate to your talent and your hard work and your smartness, and what percentage do you equate to luck? And almost every one of them goes, there was definitely some luck involved. There was definitely a lot of luck. But
well, it's like what's the saying, right? When preparation meets opportunity.
That's what luck is.
So that's basically what I think every successful person will say. I think the Reptarium is a perfect example of that. You know, I mean, 10 years ago, I wanted to do this. It probably wouldn't have worked. You know, but now the timing was just perfect. And
I'm sure even when you were starting this, you were scared it wasn't going to work as you were doing it. You're like, okay, this is a big adventure. I hope it pays off.
I was convinced it wasn't going to work, to be honest with you. Seriously, I thought that, I'm not kidding you, I thought that 10 people a day would come through. I'm not kidding you when I say this. I seriously thought 10 people a day would come through. And never in my wildest dreams could I have imagined the success of this place. So I mean, but again, I think it may not have worked 5 years ago.
Right.
It may not have worked 5 years from now. I don't know, you know, and I don't know if it will work 5 years from now, but that's why it's scary to think about doing this expansion we're doing, is because you're like, all right, I'm basing this expansion on how successful it is right now.
Where's the closest aquarium to this place?
So small aquarium. There's only one smaller aquarium. Well, it'd be bigger than our aquarium, but by about twice the size. And that's the only place. It's about an hour away.
Oh yeah.
And then the next one would be Chicago.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I think it'll be.
You're filling the void.
And it's not like we're just going to do a public aquarium. We're doing, again, interactions that you can't do at other aquariums.
Reef
sharks. Yeah, you're going to be able to swim with sharks.
You could pay to get bitten by a shark at this aquarium.
Exactly.
No other aquarium offers that.
No place is going to.
You ever want to tell someone you've been bitten by a shark? Now you can.
Now, that's a good.
For $100.
It's not a bad idea though.
Yeah.
It's not
I've always
bad
wanted
idea.
to say to someone, yeah, I fought a shark before.
Yeah, I got
maybe
bit
that
by a
not
shark.
bit by a shark. You could fight a shark.
Ooh,
for
yeah,
shark
one
boxing.
punch.
Yeah.
I'll pay
One
$100 right now if you
Okay.
let me punch your shark in the face.
Oh, that'd be nice. Wow.
think?
That's.
I
think
don't
it'll
know.
work.
I think you're canceled.
I think you need me on your team.
On
to
the
finish
board.
these
Yeah,
ideas
PR
with
team
these
for sure.
ideas.
Yeah, PR team for sure. We're gonna be a success.
Yeah, with ideas like this.
Yeah, I do get upset though because Lori has a scar on her leg from getting bitten by a tiger, and then another friend of mine that I was with, which ironically enough just caused a little hubbub, got bit by a cheetah.
I
I
did hear about that.
and,
This was not at the Reptarium.
This
So
was
everyone knows.
our cheaters
Our
don't
cheetahs
bite.
aren't biting
Yeah, our
now.
cheaters don't bite. So I've been jealous. Like I want to get bit. You know,
You've been bitten by a lot of snakes.
Yeah, but my scars are like
You've been
monitor
bitten by a lot of
lizards.
snakes too, right?
Yeah, and I look like a cutter because
I've
of
never
reptiles.
been bitten by a snake before.
Yeah. Well,
we
we
gotta
can
do
we
that.
can pop your cherry tonight.
Yeah, we got that, Jerry.
There's a couple.
What you got from Justin?
Justin says, when do you think you'll have baby Pueblans and Lavender Kings? I'm waiting to get them and from you and need 2 females.
Thanks. Yeah, give about a month and a half to 2 months at most. So yeah, just keep
Eggs
an
are
eye
on
on
the ground.
bhbreptiles.com.
Alex says, now that the weather is nice, would you consider a moto vlog on the motorcycle?
Yeah, I don't know.
Gotta come in with it at least once
yeah,
in the
I mean,
summer.
yeah,
dude. I gotta get the drone
so I have
shot.
a-
You just got a motorcycle?
No,
Or
I've
you
had a motorcycle for a long time, but
40
I'm like
years.
the worst rider. I like
Me too.
like I like have a motorcycle that I might ride 3 times a year.
You ride the bike?
I'm too pussy. I'm too pussy. No, I've honestly just never learned, and I don't want to do crotch rockets. I would ride Harleys. Just don't know how.
I took when I was in junior college. I
Yeah.
took a safety course.
Okay.
And there were actually a lot of seasoned riders in there too, because it gets you a little break on the insurance.
Okay.
Or something like
Yeah,
that.
that's true.
Okay.
But I took the class and I got my license. Have
Yeah.
not been on a bike since. I have a motorcycle license right now. Have not ridden a
You
motorcycle.
can ride
since.
mine.
You
No, I
don't
have
want
I have
me
a
to ride
really.
yours.
I just redid. I think this is why that's the chat was. Is I just redid the bike last year.
Oh, cool.
It's beautiful. It's got like
Beautiful.
chameleon paint, so it's like like it turns from purple to yellow to I mean just like freaking beautiful. The paint job alone is like $4,000, you know,
Wow.
just on the tins. And
Some nights I just catch them in the garage, just staring
Looking
at
at
it.
it,
it's a beautiful bike, but
Hey,
I like to
that's
look
cool.
at it. I don't like to ride it, you know. And actually, I'm getting I have a '59 Harley as well that I haven't restored should be back. I think maybe as early as next week.
That's so cool.
But that'll be another bike I won't ride. So yeah, I'm not a bike rider.
We're gonna ride it around a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
You're
not
gonna
much.
start a little section of the Reptarium for his bikes. It's gonna be a bike museum slash aquarium.
Yeah, exactly. That's more what I'd like to do. I like to collect them. I don't like to ride. I feel uncomfortable with it, man.
It's scary.
Yeah, you're out there and you're like, I'm gonna get killed.
You know what it is to get comfortable. You need to ride all the time. It's like a catch-22. I'm scared to ride them, but to be not scared, I have to ride them.
Yeah, and the more you ride them, the more chance you're going to get killed.
Yeah,
That's analogous to comedy.
Analogous. It's analogous.
It's true. The more
full circle.
The more you do stand up, the more you're ready to ride.
And the more you might die.
And the more you feel like killing yourself.
The more there's a
Same with going to the gym. You stop going to the gym for a week and you're like, oh, I got to go to the gym. But then you start doing it. It's getting in that routine, getting in that.
Yeah, and then you bust fatter loads.
I've been going to the gym for 4 years. I still hate it. I've never been in the rhythm at all. I'm still like, fuck, I hate it.
Doesn't it up your libido?
I don't know.
Do you work out?
You trying to fuck?
Yeah, no,
you work out. You trying to fuck?
Yeah, you know it. Do you really want to know the answer to that question?
I do push-ups. My libido is all
I'm trying to look out for him, dude. He said he got a girlfriend. I'm trying to increase his fucking seed size.
Next off the charts up here. Yeah,
that's good.
I share that perversion comedian Louis C.K. Chris D'Elia.
Oh my god, that's good. That's right where you want to put yourself.
Is this live? Is this live? No, I have a high libido.
That's good.
That's good.
I'm just looking up because we're sponsored. We got ball companies. We got
trying
to scout us.
Some ball underwear. I don't even know it. I haven't even read
and pills.
I hadn't read the brief
Blue
on
Chew.
it.
I had a Blue Chew ad at one point.
Blue Chew.
Oh wow, look at that Blue Chew.
What was the company? No, that's not shut.
No, actually, I did actually turn down one of the Viagra ones.
Gas station Viagra.
Yeah, I was like, no, I just felt like it was a weird integration to do. You know,
have you taken a honey?
I would do it on the.
Is that the gas station one? I've taken Blue Chew, which I think is the same thing.
I don't know. I don't know. There's just this
and they work. Let me tell you.
It's just a little honey pack thing.
When will this thing ever go away?
You ever just hang out with your boys and you just pop Viagras together and you sit there in sweatpants and just hang?
Yeah, it sounds like fun.
It is.
Wait, you guys aren't on Viagras right now?
Yeah.
No.
Shit, man.
Jay, you took one, right?
Of course, my dude.
Okay.
How you think I'm working the keyboard?
Oh, God.
The switcher.
He needs 3 hands.
Yeah, baby.
That keyboard.
Simple Man says, hope you all have a great night.
You too, Simple Man.
And then have a gay night, that's for sure.
Stephanie says, Potterhead, happy birthday. Love from South Africa. Love to the whole family.
You go to South Africa.
I would love to go. I've never been there. I've been to Tanzania.
Okay.
With my family, we climbed Mount Kilimanjaro.
You did climb Mount Kilimanjaro?
Climb Mount Kilimanjaro.
How did you not come out the gate with
How
this?
was it? Because that was hard, man. That's a hard climb.
It is hard, and at the same time, it was one of the hardest climbs I've ever done. If not, no, it was the hardest climb I've ever done.
Is this a Blue Chew ad, or is this a like, what are we
Get up there.
Jesus.
But even though it was so hard, there was like an old lady doing it with our girl too. So like it's doable. It's not that hard, but it was very hard. I wouldn't recommend it. It wasn't that fun.
They always say that. They say it's the most dangerous amateur climb. Right?
I'd say that's a good idea. Like I got altitude sickness the last day,
tons of people do.
I was getting like oxygen tank and everything, diarrhea. All that,
that sounds so much fun.
Felt horrible, but I was also the last day, so I was like, I gotta finish. I pushed through it.
See, I don't think I could do it.
You could do it. Oh, you could.
I mean, maybe I could, but I don't.
Sure you
like I'm obsessed.
You wouldn't
with,
enjoy it.
No, I would hate it.
But you could do it.
I've actually been obsessed with Everest forever. Like, I mean, obsessed. I would never want to climb.
Yeah, please
sounds
never want to climb.
And I think to climb Everest is like $100,000 to climb it.
And you can catch Corona.
Wow.
You know?
Yeah, they've got
this
COVID
year.
outbreaks.
Yeah. This year it's like, hey, as a bonus, you get Corona too.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But you already had that, so you're good.
Yeah, so I'm good. Yeah. I'm safe. But I watch like tons of stuff on Everest. I'm like obsessed with Everest. But
you got to do it then.
But I'm obsessed with climbing. Did you watch Free Solo?
Yeah, incredible.
Crazy.
Yeah, the Alex Honnold and rock climbing's in the Olympics this year.
Oh, that's cool.
Whenever the
No
Olympics
way.
is. Yeah.
It's so I'm obsessed with all that stuff. But Kilimanjaro is probably the one mountain that maybe would be attainable.
100%.
But
I have a chubby younger brother. He's not chubby now, but at the time he was like a little fat kid. He did it.
Wow.
I did it with my parents. My whole
How long
family
did
did it. Both my parents. So here's a Kilimanjaro tip for all you listeners who are about to climb Mount Kilimanjaro.
Which is most of them.
Yeah, most of you guys are about to do it. So they have different packages, right? So you could go do it, I think, in 3 days, and they have a week trip version. And you think, oh, a week, they space it out more. It's going to be easier. That's how they market it. It's kind of the beginner's one. do the shortest one you can,
just
no
get
matter
up and
what
get down.
level. Because they're just trying to get more money from you. They just want the trip to be longer, and they want you to do it. But after 2-3 days, you're like, get me down from this mountain. I wish I got it out of the way in 3 days. I really do. I think it would have been easier, not harder.
Now, do you have to like? I know I saw a thing about it where like you have to like buy meat from people down at the for food, or is that part of your package?
I don't know. I think there's again like different levels, and my parents, I'm very fortunate. They have a little bit of money and they paid for the trip.
They opt out of the
doctor, lawyer.
We had a like a personal chef.
Okay.
So that carried a tent and food for us the whole time.
Yeah,
so we had like nice meals.
Yeah, because I literally have seen like people down at the.
awesome.
I've seen people down at the base where they're like
bartering
literally with a machete chopping up meat, like and like just chopping meat and going, all right, you take this. You know.
You know what's crazy? So this was the hardest climb I've ever did, the hardest mountain, whatever, hiking I've ever done. So I went to REI. I got myself nice hiking shoes, like
nice.
top of the line jacket, all this nice stuff. You got they're called porters, the people that help you with mountain carrier stuff. These guys are, doing this for like $11 a day.
Yeah.
They're in torn up jeans and worn out Jordans like that were probably like donated to them at charity. And they are smoking us up the mountain carrying big packs, like that's their job, and they're just doing it like it's nothing.
It's like the Sherpas,
whereas I'm this dumb white guy in top of the line REI stuff, huffing and puffing,
fit,
having diarrhea going on. It was not. It was embarrassing.
Gosh. Did you do anything else in Tanzania? There's like
we went on animal safari too. So we went on I think a 4 or 5 day animal safari. We got to see lions, zebras, everything.
What are we doing here right now? Let's fucking go.
I just assume you've done an African safari.
Of course,
already.
Of course,
I have.
But it was. You have or haven't? Oh, it's incredible.
I was fortunate to go to a place called Jakudu, which was in South Africa, and it's one of the rare places you can go on foot. For safari.
Wow.
So you don't have
That'd
to
be scary a little bit.
I was with, it was like I was with rangers the whole time.
Okay.
So, but we were able to get we were 20 feet away from wild lions. We were, at one point, some rhinos could have killed us pretty easily because it was me and a ranger named Rich Sessons. We were doing a little film piece and the rhinos started coming out from the bushes and started walking towards us. And like, you're kind of like, what the hell's going to happen here? And they got probably from here to the wall.
Did they have rifles out, like ready to go?
So he had a rifle, and I love this guy for this. I told him after this, he had a rifle on his shoulder, strapped, never touched it. Never touched it one time. And I respect him for that. And the camera guys that were with us, one of the guys shoots for Nat Geo and stuff like that. He said, when he was done, he goes, I literally thought I was filming you die. He goes, I thought for sure you were going to be killed.
Hopefully some good footage out of that.
It was great. It was really fun. And I had no time I was nervous at all. I thought it was awesome.
You know how shitty that would have been for us? Like me being
if you
his
lost
family
your dad to
member.
a rhino?
Not only losing it to a rhino, but having it on footage and being able to watch my father's last moments.
Well, one of the
that
things
would have been horrible.
That would suck.
But you got to not think about yourself for a minute and think about the world.
Brian in the Wild would have been
awesome.
Think about how many subscribers I would have gotten.
Think about it, mister.
Think about the YouTube channel he would have left you with.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God, you would have been a legend.
Yeah, Brian in the Wild would have went fucking
oh my God,
platty,
if it
bro.
ended with you getting killed by a rhino, that would be a fucking Emmy winner.
I know. Well, I've always, it's dead serious. Every time I've been around, Jay knows this, I've always said, if as a camera guy, if I'm out, if I'm going to get killed, just film it.
That's what he told me. I go, what happens if like some bad shit happens? He's like, just film it. You're not going to do shit.
Yeah.
Well, listen, if I'm getting attacked by a lion, my camera guy's not helping me. You know what I mean? He's just, if he jumps in, he's just.
What are you gonna do? Yeah,
you might as well just film it.
Might as well get that. Try kicking the lion.
Yeah. Just go ahead, let me die, but film it.
Get that 120
I'm okay
sweet
with
B-roll.
that, man. I mean, you know what the most famous guy said, right? You either
the most famous.
You die a hero, or you or
live long enough.
Yeah, live long enough to be a villain.
Somebody. Yeah.
Be a villain.
Who is this?
Batman.
Oh. The most famous guy.
Batman said that. Yeah. So, all right, we got Rob P.
Rob says this specific day, the side hustle is custom car working, heading to Toronto to pick up a client's car to bring back to my shop in Niagara. But I also do what Noah thinks I do. Organic baby. The grind don't stop.
This is the guy, of course.
Does that mean growing weed?
I think so.
No.
Oh.
He's stuck on the
The
beep,
real
beep.
side hustle. Really talented. Man of the night.
Sheesh.
Oh, that's cool that he works on cars, though. Badass. Tom Green.
V-Dog says, my school friend is Tom Green, and he really broke boards. I was with him when he painted his mom's and dad's place plaid on the outside. He was one of the first to use YouTube to become famous.
Tom Green.
That's
Which
a lie.
Tom Green? Not
Tom Green had a show
I'm
on
just
MTV
fucking
back in the day called The Tom Green
Well,
Show.
no, I remember Tom Green, but is she talking about the same Tom Green?
I think
You
so.
I
think?
assume so, but
I didn't think that was before YouTube.
That's
though.
what I
Yeah,
thought, too.
She's wrong. He did not get famous
Yeah,
on
because
YouTube
Tom,
at all.
he was
already
around-
famous
he was,
when YouTube came
Yeah, because
around.
he was on that road trip movie, right?
He was on Road Trip, and before that, he had a Canadian show actually on a local access
Wow.
Canada called The Tom Green Show, and then he sold that to MTV.
And
broke
ironically
on
enough,
MTV.
he just started YouTube. Now that I
Yeah.
think about it, and I don't even think. Can you look up just?
He just made a
Yeah,
podcast.
he lives in a van now.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
has a
Yeah,
podcast.
it's like he doesn't look like he's doing
And
so
here's
good.
so he's actually talk about a guy ahead of his time. So before YouTube, Tom Green did a podcast much like this in his living room.
Wow.
And he streamed it to tomgreen.com. This was before you could stream live on YouTube or Facebook and any of those.
283K.
He had a whole movie set, like $50,000 worth of equipment in his living room. Streaming, and he would have Norm Macdonald and Joe Rogan and all these people on. This was
Holy
before the
moly.
Joe Rogan experience. He was literally ahead of his time.
Oh my gosh,
And
too
he
ahead
was
of his
doing-
time.
Yeah, too ahead of his time, doing this internet channel in his living room at the time.
Wow.
I was 14, I think, 15.
Wow.
And I would watch it from my living room, and he had a message board, and I was a moderator on the message
no
board.
way.
talking
Get
about,
the heck outta
Shout
here.
out to Jerica. Happy birthday, Jerica.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was Jerica for the Tom Green Show when I was 16.
Get the hell
so cool.
out of here.
And then in LA, I was in the green room with him, and I told, and now we're both comics on the same show, and I'm like, hey, I just want to let you know, when I was 16, I was a moderator on your message board.
so cool.
On your website. He could give two fucks about that, but
He
was
didn't
a nice guy.
care?
No, he didn't.
He's a little
I
spacey,
thought-
though,
I thought
man.
that would
He's
be
a little
such Cool
spacey.
connection. He was like, oh, cool, and that was it. But
Wow,
he was nice. He was
I
nice.
would have expected that
Nice
to be
guy, though.
something. But yeah, he looks like like maybe got. He's growing a little old.
What do you
know,
call-
a little
but-
hard.
Yeah, he's probably in his, I would guess, late 50s. I don't know.
I can
Yeah.
Or
truthfully
mid-50s,
say
or
though,
mid-50s.
like he is a guy that everyone, if they even don't know it in their main conscious, subconsciously they respect him for like comedy and stuff.
I think
you know
so.
what I mean.
If
I do
you
as
know
well.
comedy, I think you do. Because
do
this
as
was
well.
pre-Jackass too.
Yeah.
This was pranks on MTV. It was hilarious.
Yeah.
He's just a dry, funny Canadian dude. He skateboards. He's badass.
I love
Yeah.
And he has one testicle. He had testicular
Which that's
cancer, and he
perfect.
filmed himself.
Dude.
He filmed himself on the show getting his nut removed.
Wow,
That's
Wow.
badass.
Great content.
That is
Yeah, yeah.
That's value.
Yeah, that's value. That's all I got, Bri.
that is
All right, cool. Well, this has been awesome, man. Thanks
Thanks
Ari.
for having me.
No, thank you for being on. Obviously, I'll put all the links into his stuff. Go show him some love. Tell him that I sent you when you go show him love. Can't wait to see the future for you. In the meantime, we'll have fun off the podcast. So take us out of here, Noah.
Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please subscribe, hit that like button, all that jazz. Like we said, click the links in the description if you want more. And with that being said, you've been checked in, and we are checking out.
See you guys. Thanks, guys.
It's a good outro.
Thanks. Thanks, Ari. I appreciate it, man.